After a highly successful weekend as the alter ego Lebanon Ironmasters, the Lancaster Barnstormers reemerge here this evening to open a three-game series against the York Revolution. Good afternoon, everyone, from People's Bank Park over in York. The Barnstormers taking on the Revs, and these two teams will become highly accustomed to one another over here, especially as this is the first of four series that the Barnstormers will play against the Revolution at People's Bank Park over the span of the next 6 weeks or so. The Barnstormers won all three against the Staten Island Ferry Hawks over the weekend and look to continue that success here. Now, the next two games do not matter for the Barnstormers. They will, I apologize for the sound mix up there. The Barnstormers will play out the string in the first half. They have a chance to tie York for third. To do that, the Barnstormers will need to sweep these next three games. The Barnstormers can get to 30 and 36 in the first half. York at the moment is 29 and 34, so the Barnstormers would have to win the next three and finish third in the first half. But that is not the objective here. The objective is to play out the string in the first half, win if you can, but then the focus becomes the second game of the doubleheader tomorrow night. Now, what's interesting about that is that the Barnstormers will be playing a second half game in the second game of the doubleheader tomorrow night, but York will not be playing a second half game. That is their 66th scheduled game of the first half. Confused? I understand. Everybody basically is, but that is the situation. So the Barnstormers will be playing for keeps in the second half tomorrow night. York is not. York is going to a bullpen game in the second half of the doubleheader to have everything geared up, the rotation back around at the start with Jorge Martinez pitching on Wednesday, and what for them is the opener of the second half. And both teams, by all appearances, will need to win the second half in order to advance to the postseason here in the Atlantic League in 2022. Southern Maryland and Gastonia already are there. Whether other two teams will go to the playoffs, well, we'll begin to learn a little bit more tomorrow night. Our pitching matchup for this evening is Brooks Hall for the Barnstormers. He comes in at 0-1 with a 3.86 ERA. It looked like he was going to win his last time out, and then the roof fell in the bottom of the sixth inning as 5 runs scored on him, one more against Donald Goodson, and the Barnstormers let a 7-1 lead slip away. And he ended up not involved in the decision in a ball game that the Barnstormers would eventually lose in 10 innings by the score of 11-10. Austin Nicely will make the start for York. It's the 5th time the Barnstormers will have seen Nicely this year, and he's gotten better as the season has gone along against the Barnstormers and in general. Nicely is 2-5. This will be his 13th start of the season. His ERA has dropped to 6.88. Here are the starting lineups for the ball game here this afternoon. Sean Dunston Jr. is leading off in center for the Barnstormers. Melvin Mercedes will bat second and play second base. The first baseman hitting third is Kelly Dugan. Andretti Cordero will serve as the DH and bat cleanup. Ladarius Clark is hitting fifth, playing right. The catcher in the number 6 slot is Colton Shaver. Trayvon Robinson will bat seventh and play left. Anderson Felice is the Lancaster shortstop, batting eighth. Trace Lair will be at third base. He will bat ninth, and Brooks Hall on the hill, 0-1 with a 3.86 ERA after 4 starts here in 2022. For the Revs, it will be Troy Stokes Jr. leading off in right. Elmer Reyes, the shortstop, batting number 2. J.C. Encarnacion will be in left field. He will bat third. Melky Mesa is still out. The cleanup hitter is the first baseman, Nelly Rodriguez. Carlos Franco, who's right there with Dugan and Hawkins in the home run and RBI chases. Franco will bat fifth. He will play third base. Connor Lean is the center fielder, batting sixth. The designated hitter in the number 7 slot is Josue Herrera. Jeffrey Perez will make a start at second base for the Revs. He's batting eighth. And Lenin Rodriguez is doing the catching. He is batting in the number 9 slot with Nicely on the mound. Austin Nicely 2-5 with a 6.88 earned run average, and the Barnstormers will have to get it done against a left-hander here this afternoon. They'll have fireworks well after the game. If we play a standard length game, the Barnstormers will be out of town before they shoot off the fireworks. And speaking of fireworks, last night, a great show at Clipper Magazine Stadium and a great turnout. What an event that was. Congratulations to Mike Reynolds and Kristen Simon and all my coworkers. I wish I could take some credit for that event last night. I was just an innocent bystander, but I loved every minute of the music and the food and the fun to be had at Clipper Magazine Stadium last night. So congrats to everybody who
took part in that, and thanks to all the folks who turned out for the fun following the 6-1 Iron Masters win over the Staten Island Ferry Hawks yesterday. Baseball on tap tonight. We play a single game here, and then doubleheader baseball starting at 5 o'clock tomorrow to make up for a rainout here in York back on the 23rd of last month, the Thursday. And then the series will change venues, and we will be in Lancaster to continue against York on Wednesday and Thursday of this week with 6:30 starts. Now, what's interesting is that this is now the Barnstormers' alternate home for the next 6 weeks. We play what will be 12 games here in York, 29 at home, and only 3 games anywhere else, and that is a quick trip up to Staten Island, and I know the Boosters have a bus going on that trip at the end of this month, and that will be the only time that this club will stay in a hotel, and then they'll spend pretty much the rest of the season in one. So it's a very, very strange schedule indeed. And in any event, Austin Nicely, the rest of the Revs have taken the field. They're dressed in white, the Barnstormers in black and red, and we'll send you down to the field for our national anthem.
For the performance of our national anthem, presented by Americhoice Federal Credit Union.
That was our national anthem this evening at Peoples Bank Park as the Lancaster Barnstormers visit the York Revolution. We open a 3-game series, a very quick 3-game series played over a couple of days across the river. And then following this, the Barnstormers will be home for 14 consecutive games, all starting with 2 against York, and then the Wild Health Genomes will play their final series against the Barnstormers coming up this weekend. After that, we will be entertaining High Point for 3, and the Charleston Dirty Birds. Who are they again? Are they in this league? Yeah, we'll play them for 6 games of the first 6 meetings between the 2 clubs this year, all in a row at Clipper Magazine Stadium in a little better than a week into the future. Here is Austin Nicely on the hill for the York Revolution, and Nicely making his 13th start of the year, 6'2" left-hander from the Grottos, Virginia, down along Interstate 81. He has thrown 70 2/3 innings. He's given up 95 hits. He has walked 26, struck out 50. In the Barnstormers home opener, he was the victim of an all-out assault. The frustrated Barnstormers, coming off an opening road trip in which they went 1-6, took it out on Nicely. They scored 9 runs off of him, went on for a franchise record 23 in that ball game. Nicely has gone 2-5 this year. Things have gotten better. His ERA 6.88, and against the Barnstormers, he has gone 23 2/3 innings, giving up 15 earned runs, which means if you do the math, the last 3 times out, he's gone 1-1, and his earned run average is just 2.57 against Lancaster. Behind Nicely defensively, it will be Carlos Franco at third. The shortstop is Elmer Reyes. Jeffrey Perez with the start at second. Nelly Rodriguez over at first. The outfield with J.C. Encarnacion in left. Connor Lean in center. Troy Stokes Jr. is the right fielder. And Lenin Rodriguez is doing the catching. Here is Sean Dunston Jr. batting .291 now with 5 runs batted in. His on-base percentage over .400. He has been a marvelous leadoff hitter for 21 games for the Barnstormers. Nicely will deal his first pitch. It is up and in. Ball 1 and no strikes. In those 21 games, Dunston has reached base 43 times. Nicely comes back, and Dunston will take a little bit low, says Buzz Albert, our plate umpire this evening. 2 balls and no strikes. Mercedes and Dugan to follow here in the top half of inning 1. Sean Dunston Jr. awaits the 2-0. He will see a strike onto the outside corner. And it is now 2-1. Dunston seeing a lot of pitches, especially leading off a game. It's generally what he has done. Nicely's 2-1 pitch is lifted foul out of play down the left field line. And we will go to 2 balls and 2 strikes here. Barnstormers batting in the top half of the first inning. Dunston awaiting the Austin Nicely delivery. Left-hander will kick and fire. The fastball is cut on and foul-tipped. Rodriguez could not hold it. And Dunston gets to stay in. He has fresh life. That could have easily resulted in a strikeout. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Once again to Dunston. The pitch chopped on the right side. That'll be fished out by Rodriguez. Foot race. It'll be won by Nicely. 3-1 on the conversion. Dunston is retired, but again, he at least forced Nicely to throw 6 pitches in that leadoff at bat. Not that the Barnstormers are unfamiliar with Austin Nicely at this point. Melvin Mercedes now stepping in. .267 hitter with 4 homers, 30 runs batted in. And average-wise, the hottest hitter right now for this Barnstormers club. The pitch, fastball, is offered outside, and it is ball 1 on Melvin. Mercedes has collected a lot of hits in recent games. He had 3 yesterday. He'll take a strike, and it is 1-1, and Melvin now hitting .404 over his last 13 games. 1-1 pitch, looped out to shallow center. That's going to get down in front of the charging Connor Lean, and Melvin is at it once again. A 1-out base runner for the Barnstormers here in the top of the first inning, and that will bring on the Revs killer, Kelly Dugan. Dugan will be neutralized by the fact that Nicely is on the hill today. Kelly at .338. He is tied for second in the league in batting, and he at the moment is tied for first in home runs with the opposing third baseman Carlos Franco and also outfielder DH Courtney Hawkins of the Lexington Legends. Dugan has 10 of his home runs in the 15 games against York, but he's only hit 1 homer all year off of a lefty. Down and away for a ball. It's 1-0 on Dugan. Andretti Cordero waits on deck. Mercedes aboard with 1 out here in the first inning. Dugan against York batting .426, and he's driven in an amazing 23 runs. And he hasn't played all 15 games. He's played in 14 of them. Infield sets, double play depth. Mercedes inching off first. Here is the set and the pitch. Dugan a wicked swing and a miss. Kelly is level at 1 ball and 1 strike against Nicely. Cordero has been driving in runs on a very steady basis. He's provided ample backup for Dugan in this batting order. Mercedes out to a lead. Nicely will come to the plate. The 1-1 drifts off the outside corner. Ball 2 and a strike. The count on the Barnstormers' first baseman, Dugan. He sat yesterday after homering in the first 2 games of the Staten Island series, and he drove in 6 runs in those 2 games. 2 balls, 1 strike. Nicely to the set. He'll deliver to Dugan, and Kelly hits a towering fly ball to right center. Back on this goes Lean. Lean all the way back. Lean to the track. He'll reach up and make the catch. Mercedes has to hustle back to first, and he will make it ahead of Lean's long throw. Dugan flies out to the fence in right center field. He got under that just a little bit too much. It did get a bit of a push from the wind, which is blowing out today, but not quite enough. And Dugan is retired for the second out here in the first inning. That will bring on Cordero, who hit a 3-run homer yesterday. Andretti batting .303 with 9 homers on the year. He has knocked in 54. 2 outs, and Mercedes the base runner in the top half of the first inning. York has seen enough out of Kelly Dugan, but this time he was contained in the ballpark. Low a ball on Cordero. It's 1-0. Mercedes was all the way to second when that ball was caught, and Lean had too much arc on the throw back to first. Mercedes able to get there. 2 outs with the runner just at first base. Nicely comes to the set to Cordero. It is ball 2 outside. Quick throw by Rodriguez behind Melvin, but he's back. 2-0 on Cordero. 1 out of 4 yesterday with the 3-run homer in the 5th inning. Andretti has knocked in 13 runs in the last 12 games. He's still started every game. He hasn't had a rest all year. Sometimes he's been the DH, as he is here this afternoon. 2-0 pitch. Cordero will take a strike at the knees, and it is 2-1. Well, the Barnstormers have not had a bad first inning against Nicely, but it's simply 2 outs and a runner at first. They have tried to work the count. Dugan hit the ball at least to the track, maybe not all the way to the wall. Line drive out to left field, and that is a base hit in front of Encarnacion. Wide turn at second, and Mercedes will pull up. So steady Andretti is at it again. Another base hit for him. He has hit safely in 37 out of the last 44 games. It brings on Clark. Ladarius with a chance here in the opening inning. The Barnstormers have Mercedes at second, Cordero at first with 2 outs. Club looks good at the plate here in the top of the first inning, but it will take another in the chain of base hits in order to get a run on the board. Two outs, 2 on. Mercedes trying to distract nicely. The pitch is up, and it is ball 1 on Ladarius. Clark has hit .349 against York with 5 home runs. His overall numbers have dropped, .283 now with 13 homers, 37 runs batted in. He's in the midst of what really is his first slump of the year, and it's not major. He's 3 for 22. Driving a ball down the right field line here. That will, however, slice foul into the York bullpen. And the runners return to first and second, and that bat got sawed into pieces, proving once again just how strong Clark is, that he hit a ball on the fly, hit it fairly well. It dropped maybe 250 feet from home plate down into the right field corner. He will get a new WAR stick. It is 2 balls, 2 strikes on Ladarius Clark. Colton Shaver, the catcher, waits on deck. Mercedes at second, Cordero the runner at first. Around a long out for Dugan. It is 1-1 now on Ladarius. Nicely peering back at the lead runner, Mercedes. Here is the pitch, and it's pulled out the left field by Clark. Diving try by Encarnacion. Comes up short. The ball will roll all the way to the wall. In his score is Mercedes to third, Cordero, and Ladarius Clark with an RBI double out the left. Encarnacion tried to save it with a dive. He came up short, and the ball got past him. Well, the Barnstormers have a run on the board. Clark's 14th double of the year. He drives in his 38th run. It is 1-0, and Colton Shaver steps in. Shaver at 265 with 10 homers, and he has knocked in 39. He did not have a hit in the 2 games that he played against Staten Island, but he did walk 3 times and had a couple of noticeably loud outs in that series. He had a great at-bat the other night, got it to 3 balls and 2 strikes, and screamed a line drive right to the third baseman, Betancourt. 2 runners in scoring position for Lancaster, 2 outs in the inning. Nicely to Shaver, and the first pitch is dealt for a strike. It is 0-1. Well, this is a big at-bat here for both ball clubs. Shaver can easily make it 3-0 on a base hit with Clark's speed at second, or nicely can get out of this inning, and his club would face merely a 1-run deficit. Fastball is away. Shaver facing nicely at a ball and a strike. Trayvon Robinson will bat right-handed in this game, waits on deck. Cordero up the line from third. Clark is off second. 1 ball, 1 strike to Barnstormers catcher Colton Shaver. He will look at ball 2 as it dances just low. And nicely peered in after that one. Troy Steffi with the ball club coaching first base. He took a little bit of a vacation the last few days. On his birthday, by the way. Happy birthday to Troy. Ross Peoples coaching third. 2 balls, 1 strike to Colton Shaver. Nicely to the plate. That is swung out and missed. And now it is 2-2. If the pattern holds true to form with Shaver here recently, the next pitch will be ball 3, as he has seen so many full counts over the past week or so. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Shaver. 2 in scoring position here in the Lancaster half of the first inning. The last 3 batters have squared up nicely pretty well. Mercedes more or less a flare into center. And to Shaver, here's the 2-2. He drives a foul into the seats down the first baseline. The count continues. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Colton Shaver. The Revs have him cheated a little bit toward right center. Shaver does have power to all fields, but to left it is ridiculous. We've seen a couple of balls he has hit on the road this year to left field. One at Lexington last week, one at Gastonia in the opening series that have just been monsters. And to Shaver, that is ball 3, and it skips away from Rodriguez. Here comes Cordero. He will score on the wild pitch. And the Barnstormers now have a 2-0 lead. Clark moving ahead to third. And it is 3 balls and 2 strikes on Colton Shaver. The Barnstormers with a pair on the board, a chance now for a third. That ball got all the way to the backstop. Cordero, no difficulty coming across. 3-2 to Shaver. The infielders are back, and still the outfielders play the other way. Here's the payoff pitch, and that is fouled all the way up to the rooftop. Will stay 3 balls, 2 strikes to Colton Shaver. He's having a long at-bat. The Barnstormers in general have had fairly lengthy at-bats here in the top half of the first. Clark's the exception. He doubled early in the count. 3-2, first base open. The switch hitting Robinson on deck. Nicely wants the out here. The payoff is high. Shaver gets another walk, and Robinson will try to extend the inning. Trayvon at 283 with 14 runs banded in. Robinson has 13 hits in his last 29 at-bats. He's been swinging the bat well, but for the most part, that has been from the left side of the plate. Right-handed, he's just 3 out of 26 on the year, and he's looking for his first hit against the Revs. We're going to have a mound visit already not from the dugout, but by the catcher, Lenin Rodriguez. So Buzz Albert, I am fairly certain, will count this as one of the Revs' timeouts, and he does. Well, they can still use 2, and if this first inning were to get really bad for Nicely, they could still send Mark Mason, could come out and not have to change pitchers. But it is a timeout. Now to Robinson, a swing and a miss. Trayvon down a strike. It is 0-1. Clark at third, Shaver at first with 2 outs in the inning. One of those outs, about a 370-foot fly ball by Dugan. One strike to Robinson. Clark up the line from third. Shaver is off first. Here is the set, nicely to the plate. Fastball is up. Robinson batting at a ball and a strike. The Barnstormers with the 2-run jump for Brooks Hall, who could have been warmed up long ago. This has been quite a lengthy top half of the first inning. To Robinson, a ball and a strike. He lets it go. Changeup is wide, and it is now 2-1. Nicely just walked Colton Shaver after an at-bat that got stretched out a bit. 3 hits in the inning. Robinson has worked ahead in the count. 2 balls and a strike. Anderson Felice waits on deck. Here comes the 2-1. Way high and outside. Saved by Rodriguez. Now it's 3-1. Felice will bat, it appears, still from the left side of the plate, although he's done fine against the lefties as a left-handed batter. 3 balls, 1 strike, the count to Trayvon Robinson. Ladarius Clark over at third. Colton Shaver leads from first. Nicely will go back to work. He comes to the set. Shaver goes, and the pitch is skied to center. It is traveling some, but Connor Lean draws a bead on it to make the catch for the final out. Well, the Barnstormers don't get a killer blow in the inning, but they do pick up a couple of runs on 3 hits with no errors, and a couple of men were left on base. We're headed to the bottom half of the first inning. Brooks Hall to be taking the hill with the score. The Lancaster Barnstormers 2 and the York Revolution nothing.
Celebrate the history of our national pastime at the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum in Cooperstown. See priceless treasures that will bring your baseball memories to life. Connect with events that have shaped and changed the game and our country. Our stories to tell, your memories to share. Plan your family visit today at baseballhall.org. See you in Cooperstown, where the journey becomes legend.
Are you sick and tired of washers that don't use enough water or take 2 hours to clean and don't last more than a few years? Well, come into Gockenauer's in East Petersburg now and let us show you the Speed Queen commercial grade laundry. Built the old-fashioned way with warranties up to 7 full years. Gockenauer's will deliver and install your new Speed Queen, and we know you'll be fully satisfied with your purchase. Gockenauer's in East Petersburg, your hometown dealer for 73 years.
If you remember earlier this year, the Barnstormers were getting clobbered in the first 2 or 3 innings. That was largely confined to the opening road trip, but it was definitely something worth noting back then. Now it's gone the other way. The Barnstormers generally getting out in front early. This is the 38th time in the 65 games that the Barnstormers have scored the initial run. They're 24-13 when they score first, only 4-23 when they do not. So this game off on the right foot, a 2-0 advantage. We go to the bottom of the first inning, and Brooks Hall will be facing Troy Stokes Jr., then Elmer Reyes and J.C. Encarnacion, all right-handed batters against the 6'5" right-hander Hall from Anderson, South Carolina. This year in 18 and 2/3 innings, he's given up 18 hits, 8 runs all earned. He has walked 5, struck out 18. But those numbers just ballooned because of one bad inning, and that was the 6th at Lexington last Wednesday morning. Called strike, or early afternoon, I suppose would be more appropriate. Called strike to Stokes on the outer edge. It is 0-1. Hall comes back. He's down and away. The count levels at 1 each. Brooks was cruising in that game with a 2-hitter through the first 5 innings, and he still had a 7-1 lead with 2 outs in the 6th, and then everything just fell apart. 6 2-out runs scored. Little roller up the third base line. Shaver will pounce on it. He has to cut loose a strong throw, and it is there in time. The out goes 2-3 on Stokes. We have 1 out in the bottom of the first inning. Elmer Reyes, the shortstop, will come to the plate. He is a .328 hitter with 6 homers, 43 runs batted in, and one of the better shortstops that we have in the Atlantic League, and we've got a few good ones. Jake Hoover, very strong defensively, but you look at Alfredo Reyes for Staten Island, doesn't hit much, but he's smooth as you can get at the shortstop position. We've seen Elmer Reyes make a lot of plays this year. Here's the delivery inside to Reyes for a ball. It is 1-0 as he had shortened up the bunt. Reyes has been tough on the Barnstormers, both in the field and at the plate. 1 out, nobody on. Hall will deliver. That is cut on and missed. The count squares at 1 each on the number 2 hitter. J.C. Encarnacion, the left fielder, waits on deck. Hall wanted to go. Reyes didn't. Reyes, known to be a master of stepping out and disrupting pitchers' rhythms. Here is the 1-1 offering. Ground ball pulled to the left side. That will be bobbled for a moment. The recovery, though, is made by Lair. An unusual bobble for him, but he gets the out. 2 outs, and J.C. Encarnacion will come to the plate. Speaking of it being very smooth with the glove, Trace Lair has been magnificent over recent weeks. Encarnacion will step in. He is batting .340 now with 6 homers, 32 runs batted in. Took a while for the Revs to get him into the country this year, but boy, what a player he has been for York since they picked him up midway through last year. Swing and a miss. It is no balls and 1 strike on seemingly a very tall and very lean Encarnacion. The listed dimensions are not quite what Encarnacion seems to be standing in the box. He's listed at 6'3", seems taller than that. By the way, there again, you got another timeout with Hall already starting into his motion, and he followed threw the ball into the dirt, fastball up and in, and that may be a little bit of a message to Encarnacion. 2 outs, nobody on here in the bottom of the first inning. 2-0 Barnstormers. Hall comes back, and his slider doesn't quite get there. Now 2-2. 2-1 to Encarnacion. Scoreboard put a second strike up there. That was inadvertent. And another breaking ball doesn't get there. Encarnacion with an edge, 3-1. Nelly Rodriguez, the first baseman, waits on deck. York had 3 players ejected from the game at Long Island last night, a game that ultimately took 4 hours plus. Ball 4 is outside, and Hall down to his haunches. He seems displeased. Encarnacion picks up the 2-out walk, and Nelly Rodriguez will step in, batting .246 with 10 home runs. Rodriguez was tossed. Carlos Franco was tossed. And there was a third earlier. Long Island won that game 7-6, 4 hours and 4 minutes after it started. Franco hit a grand slam in the first inning, by the way. Here's a pitch to Rodriguez. That catches the outside corner. Hall works ahead at 0-1. Rodriguez, the league leader in walks, and that's part of the reason that the man behind him, Carlos Franco, is the league leader in runs batted in. 2 outs, Encarnacion, the base runner, after Hall had picked up a couple of ground balls here in the first inning. 1 strike on Rodriguez. Here is the set, here is the pitch, and that breaks over also. It is very quickly no balls and 2 strikes to Rodriguez. Outfielders are deep here against the slugging first baseman. Lancaster up 2-0 in the bottom of the first inning. The Barnstormers had 4 reach base in the top of the inning. There's a swing and a miss against a slow haul breaking ball. Rodriguez is gone on strikes. Hall survives the 2-out walk. No runs, no hits, no errors, 1 left. And at the end of 1, here at Peoples Bank Park, the Barnstormers have the lead by the score of 2-0.
Like craft beers? Then the best place to be in Lancaster is Clipper Magazine Stadium. That's right, celebrate baseball or just a night with your friends at the Broken Bat Deck down the right field line. The Broken Bat features more than 20 local craft breweries plus product from a local winery. Food including Otto's Meatballs is sold off a pub-style menu. So get together, hang out with your friends, or make some new ones. Enjoy a night of craft beer sampling along with a Barnstormers game.
Get out of the heat and dive under the sea this summer with Disney's Little Mermaid at Dutch Apple Dinner Theater. Join Ariel on her adventure from the sea through the human world. Based off a 1989 animated film, Disney's Little Mermaid will keep kids young and old entertained. Performances are Tuesday through Sunday with matinee and evening show options available. Each performance also includes a buffet-style meal prior to the show. Call Dutch Apple Dinner Theater at 717-898-1900 or visit us at dutchapple.com to reserve your tickets today.
For nearly 50 years, Orthopedic Associates of Lancaster has provided a full spectrum of care for athletes of all ages and skill levels. Orthopedic Associates of Lancaster offers on-site urgent care, X-ray, MRI, immobilization, and is committed to helping you manage and prevent injuries, getting you back in the game as soon as possible. Orthopedic Associates of Lancaster is located at 1700 Cornwall Road in Lebanon, or you can visit them on the web at fixbones.com.
Anderson Felice, Trace Lair, and Sean Dunston will step in against Austin Nicely as we go to the top of the second inning. All 3 will bat left-handed against the lefty starter. Felice, to start things off, he's batting .268 with 3 homers and looks at a pitch off the inside corner. It is ball 1-0. Mercedes, Cordero, and Clark with base hits back in the first. Shaver drew a walk, a second run scored on a wild pitch. Tap foul by Felice. 1 ball, 1 strike. This could have the makings of a very high-scoring game with the wind blowing out on a very warm summer day. Ground ball pulled foul. Felice trailing at 1-2. And these 2 teams can both swing the bats if the pitchers are even slightly off. 1-2, and Felice won't chase a breaking ball low and outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The Revs always get turned loose about a month into the season. It takes them a while to warm up. 2-2, Felice drives a foul into his own dugout and scatters his teammates. Sean Dunston all of a sudden turned, headed back down the steps. I want nothing to do with that. 2-2 off the bat of Felice. York is now leading the league in team batting and runs scored. That's not unfamiliar territory here. Felice with a bright pink bat steps back away. The Barnstormers are 6th in team batting, but 5th in runs scored, fouled away, and will stay at 2 balls and 2 strikes. York is averaging over 6 runs a game. They've hit 81 home runs. That's second to the Genomes. To Felice, he pulls it toward the right field line. That is down for a base hit. Stokes will collect it. A terrific at bat for Anderson. He starts off his day with a single. Trace Lair will bat. Now stepping in, the third baseman at 209 with a home run and 12 runs batted in. The Barnstormers are tied for 4th in the league in home runs. This club will go through some droughts with the long ball. Here's a pitch to Lair. Ground ball right side. It finds the hole. A base hit. Felice is going to pull up around second as the ball is collected quickly by Stokes. Two of the lefties are on here in the second inning with nobody out. Nelly Rodriguez holding Anderson Felice at the bag. Could not get to that ground ball as he raced to his right, which for Nelly is his backhand side. Sean Dunston Jr. steps in. He grounded out 3-1 back in the first inning. He's got two on with nobody out. It certainly opens up the possibility of a bunt. Franco plays ahead of the bag at third, but not all the way up on the grass. And similarly, Rodriguez over at first. Breaking ball for a strike. Dunston did square. He takes the pitch. And it is 0-1. 2-0 already in favor of the Barnstormers, who have picked up 5 hits in an inning plus against Austin nicely. But with York's offense, you just can never have too many runs on the board. 0-1, the count to Dunston. The set, the pitch. Sean swings away, hits a line drive right at the shortstop. They will double up Felice off the bag, 6-4. Dunston trying to get that ball into center, but he found Reyes, who tried to put a tag on Felice, missed, but simply flipped the ball to Jeffrey Perez. And a potential big inning for the Barnstormers gets taken away as Dunston lines into 2 outs. And that leaves the Barnstormers with Lair at first. And 2 away in the inning. Melvin Mercedes steps in. He had a base hit his first time up. Lair goes. Here's the throw down to second. That will not be in time. And in fact, breaks free from the second baseman, Perez. Lair with his 5th steal in 5 tries. And Lancaster moves a man into scoring position. 1 strike, the count to Melvin Mercedes. Barnstormers are doing everything they can do offensively. But a fly ball to the warning track for Dugan, a line drive double play, and they still have just 2 runs on the board. To Mercedes, here comes the 0-1. Melvin, slow ground ball right side. Perez will dig it up, and he will flip the first, cutting down Melvin and ending the inning. Well, Lancaster gets back-to-back singles to start it, but they cannot come through. No runs, 2 hits with no errors, 1 left. The line out into the double play, a tough break. And we'll go to the bottom of the second with the Barnstormers up by 2.
Pennsylvanians are creating their own soundtrack. Thanks to PA Lottery Scratch-Offs, excitement's back. Pennies, nickels, dimes, or quarters, no matter your choice, scratching's always in order. With big top prizes and second chance drawings, thrills await. They're out there calling. If it's excitement you seek and you're looking for action, play the PA Lottery. And keep on scratching. Must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day.
Hey kids, join the coolest club in town, the Storm Force. The Storm Force is presented by the Lancaster Barnstormers and Commonwealth Charter Academy. For only $25, kids under 12 get an entire summer of Barnstormers fun with 12 game tickets, a t-shirt and bag, the chance to go first when kids run the bases, exclusive activities, and coupons from Dutch Wonderland, Chocolate World, and more. Don't miss out on all the fun. Go to LancasterBarnstormers.com and sign up.
2-0 Lancaster. We go to the bottom half of the second inning. It will be Carlos Franco leading off. We talk all the time about Kelly Dugan, and he's certainly worth talking about all the time with the season he's having. But over here, it is Franco, who is equal to Dugan in home runs, has 8 more runs batted in, though he has played 8 more games. What Franco has done here has been exceptional. 23 homers, 72 runs batted in, 18 doubles. He's hitting .319. This was something I was not aware of but he has reached base safely in 45 consecutive games. Stop to process that. It's hit, walk, or HBP. At 45 straight games. The Barnstormers franchise record is 36, held by Blake Galen. He leads off here in the bottom of the second against Brooks Hall, the right-hander into the wind, and to Franco, a slider to the inside corner at the knees. It's 0-1. Connor Lean waiting on deck. He's fit nicely into this lineup. And then Josue Herrera, the designated hitter. Hall comes back at 0-1. Franco looks at a fastball for a second strike. Oh, at the moment anyway, Brooks Hall has the slugging third baseman on the ropes. 0-2. And Hall will deliver. He gets a weak ground ball. He rolled over on it. Mercedes up with it from the hole. He'll throw out Franco. 4-3 on the conversion. A little worried about that last hop, but Mercedes was able to stick with it and get the out. Franco does not run all that well. Melvin had time for the play. One out. Here's Connor Lean. .292 for Connor with 10 homers and 37 runs batted in. He just didn't think he was going to get playing time with the Barnstormers. He asked for his release, and he would have gotten a lot of playing time, as it turned out. A called strike at his 0-1. He would probably be the everyday left or right fielder. Then again, if Lean had stayed, would the Barnstormers have brought in Dunston? And that is a question that I do not know the answer to. 1-1. High pop-up near second base. Felice signals for it. He'll make the grab, coming in onto the infield grass. Lean's retired. That's 2 outs. And Josue Herrera, the designated hitter, will step in. Herrera has been tough on the Barnstormers, hitting .378 in the season series, .272 overall, with 5 homers and 31 runs batted in. At the moment, Hall in control of the ball game. This is his second start against York. He lost here 6-1 on our last visit, but he gave up only 2 of those runs. First offering to Herrera is a bit low, maybe inside also. And it's ball 1 and no strikes. Brooks, in that start, worked 5 innings, gave up 5 hits and 2 runs. He walked 1, struck out 6. Big swing and a miss by Herrera. It is a ball and a strike. We have a band playing somewhere. Sounds like a school marching band, which they're off to the side. Ball 2 is inside, 2-1. Maybe some Dixieland here marching into the ballpark and around the concourse. 2-1. Hall goes to work on Herrera. That's foul to the top of the screen, 2-2. You're not used to hearing music when the ball is in play, because you can't play it over the stadium loudspeakers at all. 2-2 pitch. Herrera will swing and miss at a Brooks Hall breaking ball. And for Brooks, his second strikeout here. Nothing across in the lower half of the second inning. We're done with 2, and it is still 2-0 Lancaster.
Ah, the sounds of summer. Can it get any better? Oh yeah, I forgot about that one. Discover the unforgettable sensations of the Lexus Performance lineup. Explore the possibilities of a Lexus at the Golden Opportunity sales event, now through September 6th. See Bobby Rahal Lexus in Mechanicsburg or Lancaster County.
This season offers a whole line of new items from Otto's Hospitality. Dig into the world-famous Nathan's Hot Dogs. Take a trip to Otto's Cantina for a walking taco or your favorite adult beverage. Enjoy a helmet of Otto's meatballs or a sausage with peppers from the Broken Bat Deck. For the sweet tooth, there are jumbo chocolate chip cookies, Skyline cotton candy, and ice cream novelties. Or simply snack on Emma's popcorn in a variety of exciting flavors. What a great way to savor your time at the ballpark, courtesy of Otto's.
A little bit of Dixieland here at People's Bank Park on this 4th of July holiday, and we hope you have had a great holiday, had a chance to have a barbecue with your family, friends, celebrate America. What a terrific evening we had at Clipper Magazine Stadium last night, and we had people from, it was evident, all kinds of different backgrounds, and ultimately that is what America's all about. Here is Kelly Dugan, the first baseman leading off. He had a shot to the warning track, run down by Connor Lean back in the first inning. 0 for 1 here today is Dugan. Land of the free, and let us not forget that. Here is the wind, and nicely to the plate, and Dugan hits another rocket to center. Lean sprinting back. He will extend, and he will make the catch. This one a great play. Kelly Dugan is 0 for Connor Lean in 2 at-bats. But that was a spectacular catch as Lean had his back straight to home plate. Reached up and hauled that one in. 1 out, and here is Andretti Cordero, who singled and scored back in the first inning. What a play for Lean in center. Dugan, in a couple of swings, has hit the ball about 750 to 770 feet and has nothing to show for it here. To Cordero, off the outside corner for a ball. It is 1-0. A line drive double play got nicely out of the second inning after the Barnstormers opened the way with back-to-back singles. To Cordero, it is off the plate again, and ball 2, 2-0. 2-0 Lancaster in the third inning. We've seen some terrific play out in center field by Lean. And now Cordero will look at ball 3. It's 3-0. The Barnstormers are hitting nicely, pretty successfully so far through 2 1/3 innings. His defense has helped him out. Lancaster with the 2-0 lead, 5 hits off of nicely. 3-0 to Cordero. We'll see if he has the green light. He takes a strike. It is 3-1. On deck, Ladarius Clark, the Lancaster right fielder. And now Cordero steps out as nicely is into his motion. The Revs have done that a couple of times to Brooks Hall today. Here comes the 3-1 on Andretti. He will take ball 4, and it is a walk picked up by the Barnstormers' designated hitter. Second given up by nicely on the day. Ladarius Clark steps in. Clark with an RBI double back in the first inning. Pulled to left. J.C. Encarnacion tried to make a diving catch, and the ball fell in about a foot past his glove. Now Clark bats with 1 out and 1 on. Nicely rests at the waist. The pitch to Ladarius back across the inside corner for a called strike. It is 0-1. Lancaster's had base runners in this one, and they've gotten a lot of good swings in. Nothing in 1 to Clark, and nicely tries to work the outside corner, but unsuccessfully. It is 1-1. Cordero is not much of a base stealer. He has 1 in 2 tries. The Barnstormers, by the way, are now 21 out of their last 22 with the steal by Lair back in the second inning. 1-1 to Clark. Cordero being held by Rodriguez. The pitch to Ladarius, a called strike, a delayed steal, and the throw down is in time to get Cordero. The out will go 2-4. And the Barnstormers get dealt another blow offensively. It is the second man they've lost on the bases in this game. Clark batting now at 1-2. Now, that was an awfully close play at second, and it took a perfect throw by Lenin Rodriguez. The Barnstormers don't argue it. Clark awaiting the 1-2. Nicely will fire, and that is cut on and missed. So Dugan gets robbed. Cordero walks and gets thrown out. And Clark strikes out to end it. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left in the Lancaster half of the third. We're through 2.5 It is still 2-0 Barnstormers.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
Excuse me, are you saying localflavor.com?
Oh, yeah, it's where I save big bucks on all kinds of things. Home improvement projects, dining out, family fun, electronics, jewelry, clothing. I even bought my wife a fancy spa package for half price.
Half price?
Yep, you know all the deals you find in Clipper Magazine.
I love Clipper Magazine.
Well, they're all on localflavor.com too. And you can get them right on your phone thanks to localflavor.com's mobile app. Here, take a look.
Well, this app is amazing. Look at all these restaurants, amusement parks, car washes, fitness centers. This is worth sharing about.
Exactly. Localflavor.com online, the Local Flavor mobile app, and Clipper Magazine together. It's like a triple play.
Do the cheer again. I'm in.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Come on, everybody! Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
Lancaster County Motors Subaru once again presents the Subaru Outdoor Experience. Located along the first base line, this space welcomes fans to a different experience while attending games. The Subaru Outdoor Experience focuses on creating social engagement among the fans. Fans will identify with the Subaru Outdoor Experience, which includes games like life-size Jenga, shuffleboard, ping pong, giant checkers, and bocce ball, along with an art wall of kayak, bike, and recycling arts parts and information, a dog-kissing booth, a barbershop corner, and opportunities to engage with the local business that made this unique space possible. Come enjoy the games while watching the game.
Lower half of the third inning, and it will be Perez, Lenin Rodriguez, and then Stokes, 8-9-1, stepping in for the York Revolution. 16th game of the War of the Roses here in 2022. The Barnstormers have a 9-6 lead. First of 5 straight between these two ball clubs here this week. Now here is Perez batting .264. He has 5 homers. He has driven in 12. We talk about York's offense. Well, they have an incredible streak in the works here. Swing and a miss. And to Perez, it is 0-1. They've had an extra base hit now, 35 straight games, called second strike. Paul gets ahead 0-2. The Barnstormers have a very good offense, but every once in a while they'll just get shut down. 0-2 pitch inside to Perez. It is ball 1, 1-2. Most recently, that happened Thursday night in Lexington. Chopper up the first base line, a foul ball, still 1-2. Barnstormers drew 11 walks in that game, but they had only 4 singles and lost 6-3. Before that, it was the second game of the doubleheader, the Saturday night at Long Island. They had no extra base hits. They've had as many as 16 in a game. Ball 2 inside and low. That took an interesting angle on a deflection. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Hall has retired 6 out of 7 at the outset of the game. Wind has turned a bit, and it's now blowing left to right here in York. 2-2, and a Perez. Breaking ball, foul tip, then Colton Shaver holds on. That is the second strikeout in a row and the third total for Hall. 1 out, and Lenin Rodriguez, the catcher, will step in. .239 with 3 homers, 11 runs batted in. Brooks Hall, an 11-game winner for the Barnstormers during the regular season in 18, won a playoff game that year against the Sugarland Skeeters. He had the W in Game 3 as the Barnstormers went up 2-1 before losing the series to Lenin Rodriguez. A swing and a miss, and it's no balls and a strike. Came back, as you may recall, last year for 1 start. The Milwaukee Brewers purchased his contract. Ground ball down the first baseline. That is handled by Dugan on his glove side. 2 are gone. And Troy Stokes Jr., the Right fielder will come to the plate. Stokes out on a little roller up the third base line. Shaver jumped on it back in the first inning. And Brooks still looking for his first win of this season. He's pitched well until he faded in the 6th inning last Thursday night. And a Stokes breaking ball slices across the outside corner. 0-1 with 2 outs, nobody on in the lower half of the 3rd inning. Hall again with a breaking ball, this one to the inside edge. He's got it all working right now. 0-2, and he will be tough on the Revs until maybe they detect some kind of a pattern, but that right now doesn't seem possible. 0-2, fastball away, swing and a miss. And Stokes becomes Brooks Hall's 4th strikeout of the day. Nothing across in the lower half of the 3rd inning. We're through 3, and the Barnstormers continue to lead the York Revolution by the score of 2-0.
Ah, the sounds of summer. Can it get any better? Oh yeah, I forgot about that one. Discover the confidence of Lexus Safety System Plus. Explore the possibilities of a Lexus at the Golden Opportunity Sales Event, now through September 6th. See Bobby Rahal Lexus in Mechanicsburg or Lancaster County.
Not a substitute for safe and attentive driving practices. See Owner's Manual.
There is a weekend in July where the baseball world revolves around a village in upstate New York. Baseball Hall of Fame Induction Weekend in Cooperstown is an unforgettable experience full of family-friendly activities and priceless moments. Make your plans today for July 22nd through 25th for the induction of Bud Fowler, Gil Hodges, Jim Cott, Minnie Minoso, Tony Oliva, Buck O'Neill, and David Ortiz as the class of 2022. Visit baseballhall.org today for the
2 runs, 5 hits, no errors, and 3 left for the Barnstormers so far. No runs, no hits, no errors, and York has stranded 1. Colton Shaver, Trayvon Robinson, and Anderson Felice to face Austin Nicely here in the 4th inning. Nicely had a painful top of the 1st. Lancaster hit the ball quite well off of him. He walked one, he threw a ton of pitches, and gave up just 2 runs. Over the last 2 innings, the Barnstormers have handed him a couple of outs on the bases. One was very inadvertent and easily explained away with a line drive right near second base. Anderson Felice just did not have time to get back. And then Cordero thrown out stealing on a delayed break back in the 2nd inning. Here is Shaver. He walked back in the 1st. Nicely to the plate, and that is outside for a ball, 1-0. We're in the top half of the 4th inning here. Shaver swings and misses. The bat is caught by the screen over on the third base side as Shaver let go of it on the healthy swing and a miss. And he'll do what he can to get a better grip here. And I think take a different bat to the plate. It looked like he and Clark might have switched off there. Nicely's pitch count is at 57. Most of those in the 1st inning. Pulled foul on the ground past 3rd, and Nicely has Shaver set up at a ball and 2 strikes. So the Barnstormers just haven't been able to keep the pressure on, and some of that has just been some tough luck and some good defense. The line drive, double play, and then Lean making that spectacular catch against Dugan. Upstairs for ball 2. It's 2-2 on Shaver. Dugan hit the ball straight back over Lean's head. He was on the dead run, reached up and held onto it. Here's a 2-2. Shaver almost hit, and guess what? Colton's at 3 balls and 2 strikes again. No surprise. It's just been the MO for a week or 2 now. Leadoff batter here in the Lancaster 4th inning, Colton Shaver. Full count pitch coming, nicely ready to go, and the 3-2 is hit skyward. Easier play for Connor Lean here toward right center. He has it for out number 1. His 4th putout of the game. And nicely will work that way all afternoon and into the evening. If you keep your center fielder busy, you're pitching a strong ball game. You've got the hitters hitting the ball straight away, and that's largely what you want. Here is Robinson. He too flied to center. That was his first time up. Swing and a miss against Nicely. It is 0-1. 2-0 Lancaster, top half of the 4th inning. Brooks Hall, magnificent for the first 3 frames. And his pitch count is pretty low. To Robinson, swinging a foul off to the right. And to Trayvon, it's 0-2. Anderson Felice waiting on deck. Niall Ball pitched 8 shutout innings against Staten Island yesterday. Ground ball left side. Easy play for Franco. He will have time to throw. The throw is high, but Rodriguez back down on the bag. 2 outs with Felice stepping in. The Barnstormers go from facing the lowest scoring team in the Atlantic League to facing the highest scoring team in the Atlantic League. Though so far Hall seems to have been able to make the adjustment. Two outs, bases clear, nicely, definitely picking up his pace, and now Felice hits one straight away. Off the end of the bat, easy play again for Connor Lean. Nicely gets through the side in order on just 10 pitches in the top of the 4th inning. Nothing doing for the Barnstormers, and at the end of 3.5, it is still 2-0 Lancaster.
Hi everyone, Adam Gochenauer from Gochenauer Appliances, and I'm excited to tell you about a new addition to the Gochenauers family this summer season. We are now selling Titus Gas Grills. Titus Gas Grills gives you a high quality, all stainless steel grill at an affordable price, and the best thing is you can assemble it yourself in just 5 minutes. That's right, 5 minutes. Stop by to see this great grill now and mention this ad to receive a free gas grill cover with your Titus grill purchase. Gochenauers in East Petersburg.
For the youth of our area, the Barnstormers are offering a wide variety of camps throughout the summer to teach everyone some tips on baseball and softball. Camps are offered to kids as young as 4 and as old as 12. Some even involve the parents. They run from June 11th all the way through September 17. For more information, go to LancasterBarnstormers.com and click on the Youth Baseball tab. All presented by Orthopedic Associates of Lancaster and Play It Again Sports.
Two teams that are potential heavyweights in the second half of the season meeting up here late this afternoon, the Lancaster Barnstormers and the York Revolution. Statistically speaking, both of these clubs have had a very good first half. But when it comes to wins and losses, neither side has. York coming in at 29-33 and the Barnstormers 28-36. The Barnstormers have not been good in one-run games. York, the same story. The Revs are just 8-12 in the one-run contest. The Barnstormers, after hanging on for dear life back on Saturday against Staten Island, are now 6-15 in the one-run games. Here is Elmer Reyes leading off in the 4th, and Hall serves him a fastball for a strike. It's 0-1. And to this point, the Revs don't know what to expect out of Brooks. He's woven everything together extremely well here. Next pitch, a breaking ball. That is fouled at the plate on a weak-looking cut by Reyes. It is 0-2. Because if you let the Revs offense get locked in, they will beat you into submission. We've talked about the offensive numbers, and the Barnstormers are no slouches when it comes to scoring double figures. But the Revs have now done it four times in their last 8 games. Here's a pitch, breaking ball, skied to shallow right. Sprinting out is Mercedes, but he will let Clark take it. Reyes retired for the first out here in the 4th inning. He won a couple of games at Staten Island, scoring 19 and 13. And 13-0 win over Southern Maryland, a 10-5 win over the Long Island Ducks. Well, they can really pile up the runs. The pitch, swing and a miss by Encarnacion, who's been the only base runner so far. He walked back in the 1st inning. 2-0 Lancaster. We're in the bottom of the 4th inning. Brooks Hall goes back to work. Encarnacion takes a breaking ball, grounds it to short. That's gloved by Felice. Perfect throw, and 2 are gone. 9 straight set down by Hall. Overall, that is 11 of 12. And here comes Nelly Rodriguez. He was a strikeout victim back in the 1st inning. Augie Silk will pitch the first game of the doubleheader tomorrow night against Eduardo Rivera, and then it will be Cameron Gann against, it is believed, Duke Van Schamen in the 2nd game tomorrow night as we make the transition from the first half to the second half of the schedule. Between games of the doubleheader. First pitch is up on Rodriguez. Ball 1, no strikes. At least for the Barnstormers. For York, that entire doubleheader is in the first half. Swing and a miss. It is now 1-1. Hall so far has worked over this mighty York offense. 2 outs, nobody on in the bottom of the 4th inning. Lancaster up by 2. And a Rodriguez. That's lined and gloved about knee high by the shortstop Felice. An 8-pitch inning for Brooks Hall here in the 4th. Nothing going on. He's retired 10 straight. And at the end of 4, the Barnstormers continue to lead by the score of 2-0.
For nearly 50 years, Orthopedic Associates of Lancaster has provided a full spectrum of care for athletes of all ages and skill levels. Orthopedic Associates of Lancaster offers on-site urgent care, X-ray, MRI, immobilization, and is committed to helping you manage and prevent injuries, getting you back in the game as soon as possible. Orthopedic Associates of Lancaster is located at 1700 Cornwall Road in Lebanon, or you can visit them on the web at fixbones.com.
Get out of the heat and dive under the sea this summer with Disney's Little Mermaid at Dutch Apple Dinner Theater. Join Ariel on her adventure from the sea through the human world. Based off the 1989 animated film, Disney's Little Mermaid will keep kids young and old entertained. Performances are Tuesday through Sunday with matinee and evening show options available. Each performance also includes a buffet-style meal prior to the show. Call Dutch Apple Dinner Theater at 717-898-1900 or visit us at DutchApple.com to reserve your tickets today.
We go to the top of the 5th. Trace Lair, Sean Dunston Jr., and Melvin Mercedes, the hitters against Austin Nicely. Stylishly, the Barnstormers have had a pretty good night at the plate so far. They have 5 hits in 4 innings, a couple of runs on the board. And they haven't been terribly fooled by Nicely, but as of late, they have the Barnstormers hitting the ball toward the middle of the field. And it hasn't paid off. 5 putouts for Nicely. The line drive double play to the shortstop who is cheating up the middle. Now a first pitch to Lair taken for a strike. It is 0-1. Nicely has all of a sudden gotten locked in around the plate. The pitch counts are coming down. Lair takes a ball toward the gap, right center field. Sprinting back is Lean, and he'll run down another. What a marvelous game he is having in center field. That looked like an extra base hit off the bat for Trace Lair, but instead he becomes the first out. And it's the 3rd straight inning that is open with a fly ball to center. Lean is red hot with the glove here. 1 out. Dunston will step in. He is grounded to first and lined into a double play. Here's the motion nicely to the plate, and he chases Dunston out of the box. It's ball 1. Lean got after that drive off the bat of Lair in a hurry. Breaking ball, a called strike. Now 1-1 on Dunston. Sean takes ball 2 up and in, nicely starting to work very quickly here in the middle innings of our ball game here this afternoon. 2 balls, 1 strike to Dunston. Austin nicely back into his motion, and Sean will foul it off his foot. That hurt. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Lancaster had 5 hits and a walk the first time around the batting order, and you would think that would account for more than 2 runs. It did not. And the second time through the batting order, 1 walk and some well-hit balls that have all been caught. 2-2, the count to Dunston. And this is why you throw strikes. Then you'll have those other days. Cameron Gann would know about this, where everything the opposing team puts into play finds a hole. Here's a 2-2, and it is ball 3 inside and low to Dunston, who's operating now with a full count. Melvin Mercedes waits on deck for the Barnstormers. Here is the motion. Here is the 3-2. Dunston swings and misses. Austin nicely had a slow start to this ball game. He is accelerated. 2 are down. That's his second strikeout. Mercedes will be the hitter. Melvin is 1 for 2. 2-0 Lancaster in the top of the 5th inning. But the way Nicely is dealing at the moment, it appears that Brooks Hall is going to have to keep up the pace he's established early. Mercedes will take a ball. It is 1-0. Brooks has been magnificent for 4 innings. Here's a 1-0. Melvin looks at ball 2 just off the outside corner. Melvin being played a little shallow in center and right. 3-0 now. Dugan waits on deck. Mercedes probably taking here. Kelly's got to find a way to pull the ball a little bit more or shove it the other way. He's hit 2 long flyouts to Lean in this ball game. 3-0 pitch. There is a strike on the outside corner. Mercedes was taking. It's now 3-1. Nicely will bring it home, and it's a second strike on the outer edge. Full count to Mercedes. 2 outs, nobody on here in the 5th. Nicely has roared back in this at bat. Here's the payoff. Mercedes with a ground ball toward the middle, and that will sneak through for a base hit. Best way to have Connor Lean take a ball today is on the ground. Well, Mercedes aboard on a 2-out single. His hitting tear continues, his second hit of the day. And now here is Dugan, who simply needs to hatch another plan. He has walloped a couple of Austin Nicely pitches in this game, and both have been run down by Lean. One he could set up underneath almost to the wall in right center. The last time he made that catch running away from the plate in dead center. Nicely comes to the set, and the pitch to Dugan is inside and low, a ball, 1-0. 2-out base runner for the Barnstormers on their 6th hit of this afternoon's ball game. 1-0, the count to Kelly Dugan. Here is the set, nicely deals, and it curls in low. It gets away momentarily from Rodriguez, but Melvin Mercedes thought the better of making a trip to second. 2-0 here on Dugan. Cordero is the on-deck batter. Andretti perfect so far in this game. Two balls, no strikes to Dugan. Nicely again, we'll work out of the set, the pitch. Kelly takes one over the plate. And it is 2 balls and 1 strike. Lancaster still up 2-0 here in the 5th inning. 2-1 pitch to Kelly Dugan. He swings and misses. He tried to turn an inside pitch there. And probably the right approach, but now he faces nicely at 2-2. You might expect this next pitch to be away, but who knows? 2 balls, 2 strikes. Mercedes a short lead off first. And nicely pitched. Ground ball flagged by the first baseman, Rodriguez. He'll take it to the bag, and they've been able to collar Kelly Dugan so far in this one. No runs on a hit, no errors, and 1 man stranded. We'll go to the bottom half of the 5th inning. The Barnstormers continuing to lead York 2-0.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
Excuse me, are you saying localflavor.com?
Oh, yeah, it's where I save big bucks on all kinds of things. Home improvement projects, dining out, family fun, electronics, jewelry, clothing. I even bought my wife a fancy spa package for half price.
Half price?
Yep, you know all the deals you find in Clipper Magazine.
I love Clipper Magazine.
Well, they're all on localflavor.com too. And you can get them right on your phone thanks to localflavor.com's mobile app. Here, take a look.
Well, this app is amazing. Look at all these restaurants, amusement parks, car washes, fitness centers. This is worth sharing about.
Exactly. Localflavor.com online, the Local Flavor mobile app, and Clipper Magazine together. It's like a triple play.
Do the cheer again. I'm in.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Come on, everybody! Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
Taking a look at the out-of-town scoreboard, there's only one other game underway in the Atlantic League. Lexington and Wild Health are tied at 1 in the top half of the 5th inning. The Legends have signed Wes Albert, that guy that the Barnstormers had for just a couple of days on the trip to Southern Maryland when the team was playing very shorthanded. Albert came in, he made 1 appearance, and the next thing we knew, Ross had let him go. He'd given up a couple of runs in an inning and that 1 timeout, but now Wes is a Lexington legend. Long Island at Staten Island tonight. High Point's at Gastonia. Charleston is at Southern Maryland. All the travel partners playing each other this week. If Charleston and Southern Maryland have a home-and-home series, that would be painful in terms of the travel. Carlos Franco leads off here in the 5th inning, and that's pretty much where you like to have him. He grounded out back in the 2nd inning. The league's RBI leader, tied for the home run lead as far as we know. Breaking ball, high and outside, 1-1. Dugan hasn't broken the tie, and we would have to check to see whether or not Courtney Hawkins is homered for that lone Lexington run. Didn't dig that deeply. Ball 2 now inside on Franco. It's 2-0. 2-0 Barnstormers leading here as we settle into the bottom half of the 5th inning. 2 balls, no strikes to Carlos Franco. All into his motion. The pitch is hit a mile high over on the first base side. Into foul ground is Dugan. He's still waiting, and he makes the catch for out number 1. So far, Franco has been neutralized. He is 0 for 2 on the day. Connor Lean, who's been the defensive star of the day, steps in. He popped a short his first time up. And is the 11th straight York batter set down by Brooks Hall. In Major League Baseball, Miami beat Washington today 3-2. The Orioles win again. A 1-run extra inning win over the Texas Rangers 7-6. And there's some excitement building in the Charm City. Breaking ball off the glove of Colton Shaver. He wonders what happened to that one. It's simply ball 1 and no strikes as Lean does not take off, a la Dilson Herrera, who had one of those experimental rule base hits against Oscar De La Cruz back on Saturday. Fastball for a strike. 1-1 to Lean. Josue Herrera, the designated hitter, is on deck. Detroit beat Cleveland in the first of 2, 4-1. Second game coming up tonight. Kansas City with a 5-1 lead over Houston through 4.5 lean with a fly ball to left. That one's pretty shallow. Hustling in is Robinson. Trayvon there for the catch, and there's 2 outs. Here in the bottom of the 5th inning, Josue Herrera, the designated hitter, will come to the plate. Cubs are up 1-0 over Milwaukee in the bottom of the 6th. Then all else night games. San Francisco at Arizona. The Mets are in Cincinnati. Seattle at San Diego. St. Louis at Atlanta. Minnesota visits the White Sox. Toronto at Oakland. And Colorado at the Dodgers. 2 outs, nobody on here. Bottom of the 5th, 2-0 Lancaster. Hall goes to work on Herrera, and that's fouled into the screen. No balls and 1 strike. Austin Nicely has settled down after a tough beginning. Brooks Hall has been fabulous since the outset. He has Herrera at 0-1. Hall's next pitch into the dirt for a ball. The count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Brooks will back off for a moment, asks for Shaver to go through the signs once again. There's a swing and a miss. So whatever change of plans might have existed worked. 1 ball, 2 strikes on the lefty DH, Josue Herrera. On deck is Jeffrey Perez. Hall comes back, and that one slipped out of his hand. He attempted a breaking ball to the outside corner, missed terribly. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Lancaster scored 2 runs in the 1st inning. They've been stymied by Nicely since then. The line drive double play against Dunston in the 2nd inning seemed to take the steam out of the Lancaster offense. Here's a 2-2. That's strike 3 called. Off-speed pitch onto the outside corner. Herrera goes down looking. Strikeout number 5 for Brooks Hall. And he continues to keep this powerful York offense awfully quiet here on the 4th of July. Nothing across. We will go to the 6th inning. The score still Lancaster 2 and York nothing.
Ah, the sounds of summer. Can it get any better? Oh yeah, I forgot about that one. Discover the intuitive technology of the Lexus Hybrid lineup. Explore the possibilities of a Lexus at the Golden Opportunity sales event, now through September 6th. See Bobby Rahal Lexus in Mechanicsburg or Lancaster County.
Pennsylvanians are creating their own soundtrack thanks to PA Lottery Scratch-Off's Excitement's back. Pennies, nickels, dimes, or quarters, no matter your choice, scratching's always in order. With big top prizes and second chance drawings, thrills await. They're out there calling if it's excitement you seek and you're looking for action, play the PA Lottery. And keep on scratching. Must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day.
At Clipper Magazine Stadium, we have hot dogs and popcorn, peanuts, soda, and nachos. But what if, say, you are only 3 months old and mom wants to have a night out and watch the Barnstormers? Well, thanks to May Grant Obstetrics and Gynecology, the littlest of Stormer fans now have a place to go for dinner during the game. Tots can take mom to the Little Sluggers dugout behind Section 13 at the stadium for a comfortable private feeding experience. A brightly painted room with comfortable furniture and TVs tuned to the game, it is the perfect spot for baby and mom during a night at the ballpark.
Andretti Cordero will start the 6th against Austin Nicely. One heck of a pitcher's duel has emerged between these two ball clubs. Ground ball toward the middle. Perez gets there. He'll spin. He'll throw, but can't get it lined up or enough on it. And Cordero aboard on an infield single to start off the 6th inning. Great play up the middle by Perez, but trying to make that spin and throw, he simply could not get enough on it. Here is Clark, who has an RBI double and a strikeout. Clark drove in the first run of the day, and then Cordero scored on a wild pitch afterwards. That's been it. Lancaster with its 4th single since that first inning. And the second hit since the first time through the batting order. Cordero perfect, 2 singles and a walk. Clark against nicely, the left-hander to the plate, and Ladarius takes low for a ball. It is 1-0 against the Lancaster right fielder. Nicely's pitch count at 86 at the moment. To Clark, 1-0, outside and low. And it opens up the possibility for Lancaster to have 2 runners on for Colton Shaver. 2 balls and nothing, the count to Clark. Cordero thrown out stealing after walking back in the 3rd inning. So I don't know that the Barnstormers will necessarily go to that route again. 2 balls, no strikes on Clark, and he'll take ball 3 off the inside corner. Nicely has walked 2. He has struck out 2. The walks to Cordero and Shaver. Clark bats 3-0. He could have the green light here. And the pitch. He'll take ball 4 high, and the Barnstormers are in business here in the 6th inning. Cordero to second. Clark is on at first. And Colton Shaver will step in. He has struck out, and he has flied to center. And we're getting a lot of quick stirring down toward the York bullpen. Nicely in some significant trouble to start off the 6th inning. John Nunez going down to catch, and it looks like Josh Martin will be the pitcher starting to warm up for the Revolution. Shaver stands in, Robinson on deck, Cordero and Clark on base. Here is the pitch to Colton. It is a strike, tickling the outside corner. It's 0-1. The Barnstormers have a chance to break this game open here in the 6th inning, but it will take a big hit to do it. Cordero and Clark take their leads to Shaver. It is low. A ball and a strike as nicely tops 90 pitches here through 5+ innings. One and one. Shaver drew a walk in the first inning, hit a harmless fly ball in the direction of Connor Lean back in the 4th. Pace is slowed down a little. Nicely in a jam here in the 6th inning. He'll work 1-1 to Colton Shaver. Ball 2 misses low. 2 balls, 1 strike to the Lancaster catcher. Huge opportunity here in the 6th inning. An infield single of sorts for Cordero. Ground single up the middle. Perez got to it. The walk on 4 pitches to Clark. Shaver works ahead in the count. 2 balls and a strike. Runners take their leads. Here's the pitch, and that's blistered into left center field for a base hit. Cordero is going to be waved. We're going to have a throw that will be cut off in the middle of the infield. Cordero is home to score, and it's 3-0. 40th run batted in for Shaver. Clark stopping at second on the play. Trayvon Robinson comes in. He is 0 for 3. Switch hitter batting from the right side of the plate. It's a right-hander, Martin, warming up in the bullpen for the York Revolution. Still 2 on with nobody out, but now with a run home in the Lancaster 6th inning. Shaver picks up Cordero. The Barnstormers looking for a couple of more runs here out of this top of the 6th. Robinson, the batter, and he will take a ball wide of the plate. It's 1-0. Trayvon has flied to center and grounded to third so far. Still hasn't gotten locked in from the right side of the plate. Left-handed, he is swinging it very well right now. Nicely comes to the set to Robinson, 1-0 pitch. He lurches after an off-speed delivery and misses. 1 ball, 1 strike. The switch hitting Anderson Felice waits on deck. Lancaster leading by 3 here in the top half of the 6th inning. But you can never have enough runs against York. Nicely comes to the set. Robinson waits the 1-1 and takes a second strike over the inside corner at the knees. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Lancaster in the game, 2 out of 5 with runners in scoring position. 8 hits overall for the Barnstormers in this one. 1-2 to Robinson. Clark and Shaver out to their leads. Nicely glances back to Clark and takes too long. Robinson will back away. Sixth inning of baseball here at Peoples Bank Park on a perfect 4th of July. Nicely, again, giving a long look back to Clark, wanting to see what he is up to. And now 1-2. Clark takes off a little bit too soon. They've got both runners now pinched in a rundown. Clark is able to get back, and Shaver does as well. Franco waited a little bit too long. And the Barnstormers are able to escape a potential disaster. Clark took off too soon. Franco, it appeared, couldn't decide which way to go. And both Clark and Shaver are able to dive back in. The Barnstormers nearly running themselves out an inning here in the 6th. Instead, both runners are still alive. Shaver having to dust himself off. He collected apparently half of York down his uniform front. He's dusted himself off, and now it's 1 ball and 2 strikes to Trayvon Robinson. Here is the pitch. Robinson lets it go. Ball 2 is below the knees. 2 balls and 2 strikes. At this point, if you're the Barnstormers, you have to take advantage of York missing the opportunity for a fairly easy out there. They weren't going to get both, but they certainly could have gotten one or the other. Robinson bats at 2-2 and takes ball 3 outside and low. Do you trust Trayvon to put the ball in play here? Clark and Shaver could both be on the move. First and second with nobody out. 3-0 Barnstormers here in the 6th inning. Nicely getting the sign from Lenin Rodriguez. Again, takes too long, and Robinson gets restless. Clark off second. Shaver leads off first. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Robinson. Austin nicely out of the stretch, brings it home. Robinson started the bat and gets rung up by the first base umpire, Ian Pittenger. It would have been ball 4. That is a huge tip of the scales in favor of York here in the 6th inning. That was borderline. I think the right call, but that one close. And instead of the bases loaded and nobody out for Felice, it's first and second with 1 out. Felice, the batter, he's 1 for 2. He singled into right back in the second, then got doubled off second on the line drive by Dunston 2 batters later. Felice awaiting the pitch, breaking ball, scalded to first, handled by Rodriguez, throw to second for 1, back to first, not in time. Felice beats that out. The throw from Rodriguez was not perfect. It extended the shortstop Reyes a bit toward the third base side of second, and he was, with that, a little bit late getting the throw back. Shaver is forced out 3-6. Now it's up to Trace Lair if the Barnstormers are to get an extra run home and take advantage of what was a fielding mistake on the part of the York Revolution, letting the Barnstormers get away with a base running mistake. Clark is at third, and Felice at first. The pitch to Lair is punched out the left, and the inning is going to die there. The ball right at Encarnacion. 1 run scores on a couple of hits with no errors, and 2 runners are left on base by Lancaster. We'll head to the bottom half of the 6th inning. The Barnstormers up by a score of 3-0.
Celebrate the history of our national pastime at the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum in Cooperstown. See priceless treasures that will bring your baseball memories to life. Connect with events that have shaped and changed the game and our country. Our stories to tell, your memories to share. Plan your family visit today at baseballhall.org. See you in Cooperstown, where the journey becomes legend.
Are you sick and tired of washers that don't use enough water, or take 2 hours to clean and don't last more than a few years? Well, come into Gockenauer's in East Petersburg now and let us show you the Speed Queen commercial grade laundry. Built the old-fashioned way with warranties up to 7 full years. Gockenauer's will deliver and install your new Speed Queen, and we know you'll be fully satisfied with your purchase. Gockenauer's in East Petersburg, your hometown dealer for 73 years.
Bottom of the 6th inning, and Brooks Hall will be facing Jeffrey Perez, Lenin Rodriguez, and Troy Stokes Jr. Hall working into the 6th inning for the 2nd consecutive start. The 6th turning out to be a very rough inning for him last Wednesday. He had some more pitches through the first 5 innings than he does here in this one. 66 as opposed to 55. I don't know if that played a role at all. I think the more likely factor on Wednesday was the noon start. The very high sky at that point. It's not much easier here in York this evening. 3-0 Barnstormers. Lancaster had a chance to break it open in the top of the 6th inning and left 2 men on that were there with nobody out. First pitch is inside to Perez for a ball. It is 1-0. Perez struck out back in the 3rd. 1 of 5 for Hall so far today. Here's the 1-0 pitch. He squares around a bunt, offered at it, and that will be a strike. It is 1-1. Hall has set down 13 in a row. Here's the pitch. In on the hands, a swing and a miss. It is 1-2. We have the Dixieland, or brass band anyway, playing in the background once more here. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Hall getting the sign from Shaver. The pitch is a fastball up. Perez not tempted by that. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Lancaster 3, York nothing, lower half of the 6th inning. Here is the 2-2. Perez with a ground ball left side. Scooping it up is Lair. He will gun down Perez. That's 1 out here in the 6th. Lenin Rodriguez will be the batter. Rodriguez grounded out, 3 unassisted, back in the 3rd inning. All trying to give the Barnstormers their 3rd consecutive quality start. De La Cruz posted 1 on Saturday, ball yesterday. Hall has a good one going here now tonight. Breaking ball for a strike. It's 0-1 on Rodriguez. Upstairs for a ball, 1-1. York is the tougher of the 2 ball clubs, not to take anything away from Oscar and Niall and the work they turned in over the last couple of days, but this York team is a high-octane offense. 1 ball, 1 strike. Hall to Rodriguez. Fastball just away. And Brooks now trails at 2 balls and a strike. 8 hits, recorded by the Barnstormers, but 7 have been singles. There's a swing and a miss. It is 2-2. The only extra base hit of the game so far, a double by Clark back in the first inning. Time is called before Hall can deliver the 2-2 offering. Brooks into his wind, the pitch, breaking ball, slapped foul to the right and out of play. We'll stay 2 balls and 2 strikes. Wild Health now ahead of Lexington 2-1 at the end of 5 in their game. Long Island failed to score in the first at Staten Island. Here's a 2-2. Rodriguez swings and misses. Hall with strikeout number 6, and with 2 away, Troy Stokes will come to the plate. Stokes is 0 for 2. Brooks Hall being very stingy today, working with what against York is a slim lead of 3-0. 2 outs, nobody on. Stokes has rolled out ahead of the plate, and he has gone down swinging. Hall has 5 swinging third strikes, 1 called, fouled into the net. Stokes bats at 0-1. Austin nicely, likely to be done whenever we turn into the top of the 7th inning. Here's the 0-1 on Stokes. Fastball is high. Ball 1, strike 1. J.C. Encarnacion walked back in the first. Hall has retired everyone since. A ball and a strike to Stokes. He swings and misses at a slider, make it 1-2. Lancaster with 2 runs in the first, and they added 1 in the 6th. They could have had more. 1-2 on Stokes. The pitch, fastball high. 2-2 to the leadoff batter, the former major leaguer. In fact, Stokes was there last year as a Pirate for a while. Here comes the 2-2. Breaking ball, just fouled away. Stokes doing a very fine job fending off what looked like a good pitch from Brooks Hall. 2 balls, 2 strikes, the continuing count with 2 outs and nobody on base. Here's the wind, the pitch, and it is just off the outside corner, ball 3. Hall wanted that badly. Now he has gone to full on Stokes, and the York Revolution with a chance to get a base runner. They have had, shall we say, a limited number. Here's the 3-2, he got him. A swing and a miss. Stokes is gone, and that is 7 strikeouts for Brooks Hall. Nothing across in the bottom of the 6th. We have completed 6, and the Barnstormers continue to lead 3-0.
Like craft beers? Then the best place to be in Lancaster is Clipper Magazine Stadium. That's right, celebrate baseball or just a night with your friends at the Broken Bat Deck down the right field line. The Broken Bat features more than 20 local craft breweries plus product from a local winery. Food including Otto's Meatballs is sold off a pub-style menu. So get together, hang out with your friends, or make some new ones. Enjoy a night of craft beer sampling along with a Barnstormers game.
Get out of the heat and dive under the sea this summer with Disney's Little Mermaid at Dutch Apple Dinner Theater. Join Ariel on her adventure from the sea through the human world. Based off a 1989 animated film, Disney's Little Mermaid will keep kids young and old entertained. Performances are Tuesday through Sunday with matinee and evening show options available. Each performance also includes a buffet-style meal prior to the show. Call Dutch Apple Dinner Theater at 717-898-1900 or visit us at DutchApple.com to reserve your tickets today.
For nearly 50 years, Orthopedic Associates of Lancaster has provided a full spectrum of care for athletes of all ages and skill levels. Orthopedic Associates of Lancaster offers on-site urgent care, X-ray, MRI, immobilization, and is committed to helping you manage and prevent injuries, getting you back in the game as soon as possible. Orthopedic Associates of Lancaster is located at 1700 Cornwall Road in Lebanon, or you can visit them on the web at fixbones.com.
Barnstormers will now face right-hander Josh Martin. Martin started the year with the Wild Health Genomes and came over in a trade for catcher Carlos Castro. This right-hander coming into our ball game this evening is 1-1 here in the Atlantic League in 24 appearances. 28 and 2/3 innings, 26 hits, 17 earned runs. He's walked 13 and struck out 26, so fairly standard numbers. The right-hander from Jacksonville, Alabama, 6'5", and 230 pounds. He'll be facing the top of the order, Dunston, Mercedes, and Dugan. Lancaster with a 3-0 lead here. Clark and Shaver with the runs batted in this game. Cordero had scored on a wild pitch. Austin nicely is lifted after 6 innings and 101 pitches. 8 hits, 3 runs off of him, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts. Quality start listed. Now Dunston, who's 0 for 3, takes a ball low. 1-0. Dunston, Dugan, and Robinson have been kept off base entirely by Nicely. Here comes the 1-0 from Martin, a swing and a miss. Ball 1, strike 1. Mercedes has been on twice. Cordero 3 times. Clark and Shaver twice each. Felice and Lair once apiece. 11 base runners through the first 6 innings. 1 ball, 1 strike to Sean Dunston Jr. The pitch missing inside from Josh Martin. 2-1 with Melvin Mercedes waiting on deck. All at 73 pitches. I'm intrigued to see how far Ross will go with him here. 2 balls, 1 strike. Dunston turns on that one, grounds a foul off the York dugout. 2-2. He has to stick with him for now and will continue to do so, but after the other day in Lexington and very similar weather conditions, though that was earlier in the day. I don't know how much fishing line that Brooks will have here. 2-2 to Dunston. It is upstairs 3-2, and I say that for a couple of reasons. One is because the Barnstormers bullpen is back in order. Tyler Sullentrop back with the club, and Schumann and Graham have been activated. Payoff pitch to Dunston, and he'll ground another foul to the same spot. Dunston giving everybody else a look at Martin in case the Barnstormers have forgotten over time. Martin appearing for the 5th time against Lancaster. The Barnstormers have 3 runs on 4 hits off of him in 4 innings. Here comes the payoff pitch. Dunston just able to spoil that. It came off the bottom of the end of the bat. Got down in the dirt. Rodriguez could not hang on to it. 3-2 continuing on Sean Dunston Jr. as he's pushed this at bat to an 8th pitch. Here is the payoff. Dunston swings and misses at a breaking ball. Martin starts off with a strikeout. Melvin Mercedes will now come in. Mercedes 2 for 3 with a run scored. Batting from the left side of the plate for the first time in this game. 3-0 Lancaster in the top of the 7th inning here at Peoples Bank Park on the 4th of July. We have seen, especially since the top of the first, some great pitching on both sides. Martin to Mercedes. Melvin looks at a fastball wide. It is 1-0. Kelly Dugan waits on deck. Again, he'll try to find a way not to hit the ball in the neighborhood of Connor Lean. (1-0) to Mercedes. Ball 2 is low. Melvin up there at 2-0. the game that Lean has had against Dugan so far reminds me of a game that Michael Krause had in center at New Britain against Sean Halton one day, and Halton finally broke a tie in the 9th inning with a monstrous home run to the parking lot back in 17. Here's a 2-0 pitch, taken for a strike, 2-1. One out, nobody on in the top of inning 7th. The Barnstormers up by 3. Right-hander is ready. Martin to Mercedes, 3-1 now. Dunston had the count to 3-2. He struck out on the 8th pitch of his at-bat. Mercedes up there at 3-1. Defense largely straight away against Melvin. The third baseman, Franco, is up to Mercedes. That is fouled at the plate, and he's gone to 3-2. Reyes, Encarnacion, and Rodriguez stepping in the bottom of the 7th inning for York. Martin trying to get it there as quickly as possible. He nods. Rodriguez has given him the signals. 3-2, the count to Mercedes. Here's the payoff, and Melvin will get the walk. On base for the 3rd time in the game is Mercedes. That will bring on Dugan, who has hit a couple of drives to the warning track, run down by Lean, and the last time up, he grounded out harmlessly to first baseman Nelly Rodriguez. That was back in the 5th inning. Mercedes on with 1 out. If Melvin weren't batting immediately in front of Kelly Dugan, he would have more than 7 stolen bases. But you don't take the bat out of Kelly's hands. Here's the set. And to Dugan, swung on and hooking away from Lean. He won't get this one. It's in for a base hit. Mercedes will turn and go to 3rd. And Kelly Dugan aboard with a line drive base hit, but Lean did keep that from getting through into the alley. So it's men at the corners for Andretti Cordero here in the 7th inning. Cordero 2 for 2 with a walk. This is the 25th multi-hit game for Cordero. He breaks the tie with Dugan at the top of this ball club. Mercedes at 3rd, Dugan at 1st, 1 out. Cordero largely gets the ball in play, but he needs to stay away from the double play grounder here. He hit into 2 yesterday. The set by Martin, and a Cordero swung on, pulled out the left field. Back to tag is the lead runner, Mercedes, and he'll hold up as Encarnacion fires toward the plate. Cordero lines out the left, and the ball hit hard enough that Mercedes really didn't have time to go back and tag. And now it will be Clark stepping in. He is 1 out of 2 with a double and an RBI. He has also drawn a walk. Mercedes still at 3rd, Dugan still at 1st. A line drive, but Encarnacion able to run in and make the catch. He had the momentum behind the throw. Mercedes really didn't have the opportunity to go back and tag so easily. He's bluffing up from 3rd. Martin will come to the plate, and to Clark, a swing and a miss. It is 0-1. The Barnstormers could easily have more than 3 runs on the board in this game. They have had some loud outs. They haven't hit well with runners in scoring position. Just 2 for 9 here. 1 strike to Clark from Martin. The next pitch, Ladarius fouls it to the screen. And Josh Martin is a strike away from escaping a jam here in the top of the 7th inning. Colton Shaver is the Barnstormer hitter on deck. It's not that the Barnstormers have gotten bad swings in with runners in scoring position. It's just the results haven't been there in this one. Cordero with the line drive. Couldn't get it to settle down. Now it is 0-2 to Clark. He'll swing and miss. And the Barnstormers let another opportunity go by the boards. No runs on a hit, no errors. 2 more left on base. It's 8 for the game. And we'll go to the bottom of the 7th inning with the Lancaster Barnstormers leading by a score of 3-0.
Pennsylvanians are creating their own soundtrack. Thanks to PA Lottery Scratch-Offs, excitement's back. Pennies, nickels, dimes, or quarters, no matter your choice, scratching's always in order. With big top prizes and second chance drawings, thrills await. They're out there calling. If it's excitement you seek and you're looking for action, play the PA Lottery. And keep on scratching. Must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day.
Hey kids, join the coolest club in town, the Storm Force. The Storm Force is presented by the Lancaster Barnstormers and Commonwealth Charter Academy. For only $25, kids under 12 get an entire summer of Barnstormers fun with 12 game tickets, a t-shirt and bag, the chance to go first when kids run the bases, exclusive activities, and coupons from Dutch Wonderland, Chocolate World, and more. Don't miss out on all the fun. Go to LancasterBarnstormers.com and sign up.
We go to the bottom of the 7th. The Barnstormers continue to lead 3-0. His club in the second inning had runners at first and second with nobody out, and Dunston lined into a double play. In the 6th inning, runners at first and second with nobody out, and they only got the lead man there, Clark, to third. That was after a run had scored. And this past inning, first and third with one out, and Lancaster again unable to pick up a run, and it's simply because Cordero lined out. If he hits a fly ball to that same spot, I have a feeling that Mercedes would have been able to score. But with that ball on the line, Melvin was still getting back to tag. He was close, but he wasn't in position to tag and head home when that ball was caught by Encarnacion. Now here is Elmer Reyes. He is 0 for 2. He is he is grounded out and fly to right. Paul's first pitch is low. It is ball 1 and no strikes. Well, this is the point in games where they have tended to get away from the Barnstormers. And Ross has to walk a very thin line here. Chipped foul off to the right now to play. Reyes is batting at a ball and a strike. You can't get anybody warming up in the bullpen yet. That would be to some degree offensive. And at the same time, if there is even a hint of trouble, I think you have to get somebody warming up. 1 ball, 1 strike, and a Reyes breaking ball pulled to left toward the corner and foul. Up onto the deck to the left of the pole. It is now 1-2 on Reyes. Ball is thrown quite the effort so far. Here's a 1-2. Reyes with a smash inside the bag at first, down the right field line. He is going to make it at least a second here. Clark will fire in, and it will be a leadoff double for Elmer Reyes. Get somebody warming up in the bullpen now. 2 bases for Reyes. And for the 3rd time, a Barnstormer has a no-hitter broken up after 5 innings this year. Teller went 6 before Encarnacion doubled. Reyes goes 6, or Hall goes 6 before Reyes doubles. And ball 5 1/3 last Tuesday at Lexington before the home run off the bat of Brandon Phillips. Here is Encarnacion. And Ross Peoples is going to wait. Nobody yet getting up to throw. Reyes, the runner at second. Encarnacion will swing away and foul this off to the right. It is 0-1. Reyes breaks it up with a double inside the first base bag. That is his 21st double of the campaign. He's having himself an all-star year here in York. 1 strike on Encarnacion. Hall comes back as breaking ball, grounded on the right side. That one with plenty of English to it. Mercedes able to make the play and feed Dugan. We have 1 out here in the 7th. Nelly Rodriguez will come to the plate. Rodriguez is struck out and lined to short. York gets the first hit against Hall here now tonight. He is at third with one out in the bottom of the seventh inning. 3-0 Barnstormers. Lancaster, of course, keeping the infielders back. Hall's pitch count is not terribly high. It's still just at 77. Rodriguez batting, and the slider settles across for a strike. He looks good, this Hall, after the no-hitter gets broken up here in the seventh inning. He's made some very good pitches since then. 0-1, and Rodriguez, slider misses. It's a ball and a strike. The problem here is that if Rodriguez walks, as he's so good at doing, you suddenly have Franco up as the possible tying run. There's additional action in the York bullpen at the moment. Runner at third base, one out here in the bottom of the seventh. To Rodriguez, the fastball is up, and it's 2 balls and a strike. Of course, the Barnstormers have just the one lefty in the bullpen. Here's a 2-1, in on the hands and fouled back. So Hall gets Rodriguez to 2-2. Ross People showing a lot of confidence in his right-hander Hall here. And if he gets out of this inning with maybe just Reyes scoring, or not even that, then the decision, the right one. Strike 3 called on the breaking ball. Rodriguez goes down looking, and Brooks Hall certainly working his way through this. Now 2 outs with Franco stepping in. 0 for 2 is Carlos Franco in this game. Silk and Gann will throw here tomorrow night. Eric Manoah will pitch at home on Wednesday, and Oscar De La Cruz on Thursday. 2 outs with Reyes at third. The league RBI leader, Carlos Franco, stands in from the left side. Hall will deliver, and he will miss outside. It is ball 1. Connor Lean waits on deck. 3-0 Lancaster. Some tense moments here in the bottom of the seventh inning. The no-hit bid gets broken up after 6 innings. And to Franco, a swing and a miss. 1 ball and 1 strike. Quite an effort for Brooks Hall against the league's top-hitting ball club and certainly hottest-hitting ball club over the last few weeks. 1 ball, 1 strike, the count on Franco. Ross People showing a lot of confidence in his starter. He likes his stuff. Now ball 2 is up and away. 2 balls and a strike. With Lean to bat next. Fans getting into it here in York. It's not a full house, but a good crowd here on the 4th of July. Ball 3 is high. Franco bats at 3-1. Of course, the second half starts in the second game tomorrow night, and that's why Ross is being maybe a little conservative here. 3-1 pitch, pulled foul on the ground. Hall will work to Franco at 3-2. Tying run in the on-deck circle for the York Revolution. Here in the bottom of the seventh inning, 2 outs and the runner at third base. York trying at the very least to break up the shutout here in the seventh inning. Rob Rosado has his gear on, and Lancaster may start to get somebody ready. Hall closing in on 90 pitches now. He had some longer at-bats back in the 6th. To Franco, 3-2, and he misses inside, ball 4. Lean will now come to the plate as the possible tying run. Connor Lean is 0 for 2. He has popped the short and flied out the shallow left. But now 1 swing of the bat, and this ball game could be tied. Colton Shaver goes out to have a word with Hall, and the Barnstormers will send Mark Johnson out. Carlos Franco has set the franchise record that was just announced, his 46th consecutive game reaching base. That is remarkable. What a season that man is having. It's funny, Kelly Dugan has largely matched Franco stride for stride in all categories, but Kelly will tend to have an occasional offer. Franco, nothing of the sort. It's not a 46-game hitting streak, but it is a 46-game on-base streak. Tyler Sullentrop is the right-hander now warming up in the bullpen for the Lancaster Barnstormers. So it's Hall against Lean. Tying run, standing in the batter's box with 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th. And the Barnstormers up by the score of 3-0. Time now called. Colton Shaver needing, it looks like, to come over and either change out equipment or get a quick repair. He tosses his glove into the dugout and gets a backup. Pinch gloving now is Rawlings or Wilson, who knows. 1st and 3rd, 2 outs. The ball getting loose and right down to Lean, then Shaver, then Buzz Albert, and now almost to the backstop. Sullentrop works with Rosado out there. Brooks Hall probably facing his last batter of the 7th inning. Left-handed hitting Josue Herrera, the DH, waits on deck. Lean stands in, 2 outs men at the corners, and he blisters a foul down to the Lancaster bullpen. No balls and a strike as this bottom of the 7th inning is getting precarious. Hall has pitched a tremendous game, but may be running out of gas here as the pitch count closes in on 90. No balls, 1 strike to Lean. Reyes at 3rd, Franco at 1st, and there's another ball stung foul into the Lancaster bullpen area. 0-2 the count on the center fielder. Magnificent day in the field for Lean. And now we have to wait. That ball got up into the crowd and apparently hit somebody. And Connor Lean looks down there with some concern. Man who was born in Annapolis, Maryland. One of his parents, a student at the Naval Academy. Now, for the life of me, I can't remember which one. No balls, 2 strikes to Lean as they tend to the fan down the 3rd baseline. Here's the 0-2 from Hall. Outside and low, covered up by Colton Shaver. Ball 1, 2 strikes. Tying run at the plate, bottom of the 7th inning. Brooks ready to go. 1-2 pitch. Down and away. Lean won't go for it. It is now 2-2 with the lefty batting Herrera waiting on deck. And a 2-2. Strike 3 call. Lean is not happy with Buzz Albert. Hall got him looking at a fastball, and Brooks is out of the inning with his 9th strikeout of the day. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and the tying run is caught looking at strike 3. We'll go to the 8th. The Barnstormers leading the York Revolution by a score of 3-0.
The sounds of summer. Can it get any better? Oh yeah, I forgot about that one. Discover the unforgettable sensations of the Lexus Performance lineup. Explore the possibilities of a Lexus at the Golden Opportunity sales event, now through September 6th. See Bobby Rahal Lexus in Mechanicsburg or Lancaster County.
This season offers a whole line of new items from Otto's Hospitality. Dig into the world-famous Nathan's Hot Dogs. Take a trip to Otto's Cantina for a walking taco or your favorite adult beverage. Enjoy a helmet of Otto's meatballs or a sausage with peppers from the Broken Bat Deck. For the sweet tooth, there are jumbo chocolate chip cookies, Skyline cotton candy, and ice cream novelties. Or simply snack on Emma's popcorn in a variety of exciting flavors. What a great way to savor your time at the ballpark, courtesy of Otto's.
Left-hander Tuck Tucker has come on in relief for the York Revolution. The southpaw making his 4th appearance, and he's just out of college, but boy, has he been marvelous. 3 innings, 2 hits, no runs. He has walked 1, struck out 1. He'll be facing Shaver, Robinson, and Felice as the Barnstormers step in the 8th inning. Tucker from Mineola, Texas, 24 years of age, but he'll turn 25 on Friday. 6'4", and a 225-pounder is Tucker. Josh Martin through the 7th inning, gave up a base hit and a walk, struck out 2, and gives way to Tucker for the top of the 8th inning. The Barnstormers continuing to lead by the score of 3-0. Rob Rosado still working in the bullpen. So not catching anybody at this very moment in time, and now he strides back toward the bench. And we'll see if Ross Peoples sticks with Brooks Hall, whose pitch count is now up to around 94. Tucker working to Shaver first. Colton got an insurance run home. Back in the 6th inning with a single. He's 1 out of 2 with a walk officially. Tucker to the plate, and Shaver will look at a strike at the top of the zone. It is 0-1. Defense slightly to the right against Shaver here. Pitch into the dirt. Make it 1-1. Trayvon Robinson waiting in the on-deck circle. Left-hander back to Shaver. Fastball sails high and outside. We go to 2 balls and a strike here. 3-0, Lancaster leading, top of the 8th inning. 9 base hits for the Barnstormers. And just a Ladarius Clark double for extra bases on a day where I would have thought we'd see several extra base hits. 3-1 to Colton now. Elmer Reyes breaks up the no-hitter of the Barnstormers starter Brooks Hall with a double inside the first base bag. J.C. Encarnacion exactly the same point in the game with a double to left center off of Brent Teller at Clipper Magazine Stadium, spoiling his no-hit bid. 3-1, and oh, gee, it's a foul ball, and oh my, Colton Shaver is at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Again, Tucker pitched it to Georgia Gwinnett and made it to the NAIA World Series. He walked 10, struck out 49. Here's the payoff now on Shaver, and he goes down swinging at an off-speed pitch. Tucker joining a long list of left-handed relievers who seemingly have had the Barnstormers' number. Now Trayvon Robinson will come to the plate. He's 0 for 3, all from the right side of the plate today. Herrera, Perez, and Rodriguez, that is Lenin Rodriguez, scheduled in the bottom of the 8th inning. And we do see some action going on in the Lancaster bullpen. We'll believe for now, unless we're told otherwise, that it's still Sullentrop. Inside and low, ball 1 to Trayvon. Six Barnstormers have now struck out in the game. Brooks Hall is fan 9. It does look like he's going to come out. 1 out, and the pitch to Robinson, a strike at the top of the zone. And we go now to 1-1. Ask Connor Lean if he thinks the strike zone has climbed ever so slightly over the last inning. He's very dismayed that he got caught looking by Hall to close out the bottom of the 7th. Robinson bats 1-1. Tucker to the plate. He is inside with it. 2 balls and a strike. Hall will not make Barnstormers in Atlantic League history, but what a performance for 7 innings for Brooks. Two-one to Robinson, swung on, grounded right to third, gloved by Franco. He will gun down Trayvon, 2 up and 2 down against Tucker here in the 8th inning. Anderson Felice will come to the plate. He's 1 for 3. Lancaster getting respectable swings in this game. So the club is just 2 for 10 with runners in scoring position. That may well be enough in this one. And there have been some decent outs in those situations. Cordero's last inning. Again, if he hits that up in the air a little bit more to the same spot, probably a sac fly. But Mercedes didn't really have time to get back and tag. A ball way outside and low. Felice making an easy decision to let that one go. And also a seemingly easy decision not to run to first base. The Barnstormers haven't done it since Clark opening night. We hadn't seen it until Dilson Herrera did it on Saturday. Tucker to Felice, the 1-0 pitch, line drive, and up for it goes Reyes. Not hit all that well by Felice, and he just didn't get enough elevation. Tucker throws a 1-2-3 inning in the top of the 8th. Bottom of the 8th, bottom third of the order coming up for the York Revolution. And we will go there with the score, 3-0 Lancaster.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
Excuse me, are you saying localflavor.com?
Oh, yeah, it's where I save big bucks on all kinds of things. Home improvement projects, dining out, family fun, electronics, jewelry, clothing. I even bought my wife a fancy spa package for half price.
Half price?
Yep, you know all the deals you find in Clipper Magazine.
I love Clipper Magazine.
Well, they're all on localflavor.com too. And you can get them right on your phone thanks to localflavor.com's mobile app. Here, take a look.
Well, this app is amazing. Look at all these restaurants, amusement parks, car washes, fitness centers. This is worth sharing about.
Exactly. Localflavor.com online, the Local Flavor mobile app, and Clipper Magazine together. It's like a triple play.
Do the cheer again. I'm in.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Come on, everybody! Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
Lancaster County Motors Subaru once again presents the Subaru Outdoor Experience. Located along the first base line, this space welcomes fans to a different experience while attending games. The Subaru Outdoor Experience focuses on creating social engagement among the fans. Fans will identify with the Subaru Outdoor Experience, which includes games like life-size Jenga, shuffleboard, ping pong, giant checkers, and bocce ball, along with an art wall of kayak, bike, and recycling arts parts and information, a dog-kissing booth, a barbershop corner, and opportunities to engage with the local business that made this unique space possible. Come enjoy the games while watching the game.
Barnstormers starters have now thrown 19 straight scoreless innings. The last 4 for Oscar De La Cruz on Saturday, 8 for Niall Ball yesterday, 7 for Brooks Hall here today. All giving up 1 hit. He walked 2 and struck out 9. He gives way to Tyler Sullentrop for the bottom of the 8th inning. Ross Peoples certainly knows, and the rest of this club should also, you cannot give the York Revolution an inch. It's a 3-0 ball game. Lancaster scored 2 in the first and 1 in the 6th. They have left 8 runners on base. Again, it hasn't been one of those horrifying performances with runners in scoring position. some tough luck has been involved. Ball's hit right at people. So here is Josue Herrera facing Sullentrop. First pitch is grounded to short. Felice will take it and fire across. One pitch, one out. Herrera's retired to start off the 8th inning, and that will bring on Jeffrey Perez. No bat from the left side against Sullentrop. Tyler away from the ball club for the last week or so. He pitched all 3 days at Long Island, Friday and Sunday, and one of the games in the doubleheader on the Saturday night. This is his 28th appearance. He still leads the ball club. 2-2, a 2.96 ERA coming in. 21 hits allowed, 17 walks, 35 strikeouts in 27 1/3 innings. 1 out, and the delivery is a strike at the knees. It is 0-1. There's action once again in the York bullpen as they have right-hander Nick Green warming up, not the former longtime Southern Maryland Blue Crown. 0-1, breaking ball, just staying off the outside corner. And Perez bats at a ball and a strike. 1 out, nobody on, bottom of the 8th. 3-0 Lancaster here. Sullentrop getting the sign from Colton Shaver. Tyler Wines brings home a breaking ball, gets the inside corner, make it 1-2. Herrera is grounded out in this inning. Now you have Perez in there. He's one of 3 outfielders in York with major league experience. Line back toward the middle. Felice over from the other side of second. He will gun down Perez. Anderson Felice with a nice play, and we have 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th with Lenin Rodriguez, the catcher, stepping in. And overall, the Revs with 5 players with major league experience. The Barnstormers at a remarkably low 1. York, like Lancaster, has a lot of players with AA and AAA time. Here is Rodriguez, 0 for 2 against Hall with a ground out and a strikeout. Sullentrop again goes to a breaking ball. It's across, 0-1. We haven't seen any heat out of Sullentrop here in the 8th inning. 2 outs, nobody on. The 0-1 pitch, that's got a little bit to it. A fastball by him for strike 2. Tyler Sullentrop back to work. 2-strike pitch, bounce towards second. Mercedes with plenty of time for the throw. Sullentrop throws a very quick bottom of the 8th inning. 1-2-3 on 3 groundouts. We're headed to the 9th. It is still Lancaster 3 and York 0.
Ah, the sounds of summer. Can it get any better? Oh yeah, I forgot about that one. Discover the confidence of Lexus Safety System Plus. Explore the possibilities of a Lexus at the Golden Opportunity Sales Event, now through September 6th. See Bobby Rahal Lexus in Mechanicsburg or Lancaster County.
Not a substitute for safe and attentive driving practices. See Owner's Manual.
There is a weekend in July where the baseball world revolves around a village in upstate New York. Baseball Hall of Fame induction weekend in Cooperstown is an unforgettable experience full of family-friendly activities and priceless moments. Make your plans today for July 22nd through 25th for the induction of Bud Fowler, Gil Hodges, Jim Cott, Minnie Minoso, Tony Oliva, Buck O'Neill, and David Ortiz as the class of 2022. Visit baseballhall.org today for the
We're into the 9th inning now, and it is right-hander Nick Green coming in for the York Revolution. Green is 27 years of age, from Fountain, Colorado. Went to Indian Hills Community College in Iowa, which is a very strong junior college program. He's been in the Yankee system for years after a couple of seasons in the Texas organization. He topped out at AAA at Scranton Wilkes-Barre, and last year he was a Somerset Patriot for a while, 6 appearances. He has thrown 2 innings so far for the Revs over 2 appearances. He's allowed 1 hit, and he has struck out 2. And when I talk about Mark Mason and I talk about the York formula, they're doing exactly the same thing that they do year in and year out. They have this ball club that they know will warm up and just start to tear the league apart offensively, maybe this game notwithstanding, but they have been averaging probably 8 runs a game lately. And Mark will just keep rotating pitchers through here until he finds a staff that he likes. Now here is Green to face Trace Lair, starting off the 9th inning. Trace looks at a ball low. Lair 1 out of 3 in the contest so far. The other Nick Green in Atlantic League history, he pitched for a while for Southern Maryland. I hate to draw an exact comparison, but he was kind of Darrell Thompson before there was Darrell Thompson. 1 ball, 1 strike. And the offering to Lair is a breaking ball that's good. Make it 1-2. The wind, the pitch, breaking ball popped up. That'll get to the seats on the third base side. Lair remains at 1 ball and 2 strikes. There is more action in the Lancaster bullpen. I have a feeling we're going to see Graham for the 9th inning. Schumann pitched yesterday. They'll want to have him ready for tomorrow. Here's a 1-2. Breaking ball, slapped and foul down the third baseline. Lair trying to go the other way with that. Missed by a number of feet. 1-2 the count. Well, it's West Tunnel warming up in the Barnstormers bullpen, so I missed on my guess. Here's a 1-2. Lair, chopper toward the middle, but time for Perez to get behind it. The throw is good. And we have 1 out to start the 9th inning. The last 6 Barnstormers have been retired. Sean Dunston Jr. has only missed reaching base once in his first 21 games as a Barnstormer, but right now in danger of that happening a second time. He was 0 for 6 in the series opener at Lexington last Tuesday. 5 out of 19 with 7 walks in the 5 games after that. This one he's 0 for 4. He has struck out the last 2 trips. Green will deliver, and Dunston tries to bunt his way aboard and fouls it away. No balls and 1 strike. The other Nick Green was an outstanding starting pitcher for Southern Maryland in 11 and 12 and came here to York in 13, which I didn't remember. Ball 1 is high, 1-1. I just associate him with Southern Maryland. He won 20 games for the Blue Crabs between 11 and 12 and absorbed a lot of innings. And then Darrell Thompson joined at the end of that season and sort of took over the mantle, if you will. Tapper foul, and Green has Dunston at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Melvin Mercedes waits on deck. 3-0, Lancaster leading in the top of the 9th inning. 7 shutout innings on just 1 hit for Brooks Hall. To Dunston, 1-2. That curveball missed badly. Green seemed out of sync right from the beginning. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Dunston trying to find his way on somehow, and then I have to believe he's running if he does. Here's a 2-2 pitch, and again, that curveball is very high and outside. 3 balls, 2 strikes with 1 out in the 9th. Lancaster with the 9 hits today. The Barnstormers have also picked up 4 walks. 3 balls, 2 strikes, and a Dunston slow ground ball first base. And we're going to have a race to the bag, and again, it will be won by the pitcher, this time Green. Back in the first inning nicely, there by a step ahead of Dunston's arrival. 2 outs. Here is Mercedes. He's been a tough out today. 2 out of 3 with a walk, a run scored. Mercedes on some kind of a hot streak. 21 for 52 coming. He's 23 for his last 55 with 10 walks. He's been on base better than 50% of the time. Called strike to him. That's over 14 games. Next offering high and inside. Make it 1-1. I suppose if you factor in the sacrifice flies he had the other day, officially not quite, but close to a 500 on base percentage. 1-1. Green deals. There's a hopper to first, and we have the same play. This time, Green with a little more room to spare. All three batters hit hoppers on the right side. They roll over Green. Nothing across in the top of the ninth inning. Stokes, Reyes, and Encarnacion scheduled in the bottom of the ninth. It will be a save opportunity for West Tunnel, who has locked down a couple lately. We'll go there with the Barnstormers leading by the score of 3-0.
Hi everyone, Adam Gochenauer from Gochenauer Appliances, and I'm excited to tell you about a new addition to the Gochenauers family this summer season. We are now selling Titus Gas Grills. Titus Gas Grills gives you a high quality, all stainless steel grill at an affordable price, and the best thing is you can assemble it yourself in just 5 minutes. That's right, 5 minutes. Stop by to see this great grill now and mention this ad to receive a free gas grill cover with your Titus grill purchase. Gochenauers in East Petersburg.
For the youth of our area, the Barnstormers are offering a wide variety of camps throughout the summer to teach everyone some tips on baseball and softball. Camps are offered to kids as young as 4 and as old as 12. Some even involve the parents. They run from June 11th all the way through September 17. For more information, go to LancasterBarnstormers.com and click on the Youth Baseball tab. All presented by Orthopedic Associates of Lancaster and Play It Again Sports.
West Tunnel comes out for the bottom of the ninth inning, looking for his third save. He has taken on the role with the injuries to Scott Schumann and Josh Graham, though they are both now off the disabled list. Ross Peoples giving them opportunities to shake off the rust in non-pressure situations. So it is Tunnel again getting the call with the save opportunity here in the bottom of the ninth. 3-0 our score. West is 1-0. He has 2 saves, 3 holds, a 2.37 ERA, 10 hits and 5 runs allowed in 19 innings. He has walked 13 and he has struck out 18. He gets to see the top of the order for the York Revolution: Stokes, Reyes, and Encarnacion. He will want to get the 3 outs on the first 4 batters, because if he does not, if he only gets 2, then Carlos Franco would step in as the tying run with 2 outs in this bottom of the ninth. Stokes will be the batter. He hit the ball a sum total of about 12 feet off of starting pitcher Brooks Hall. He rolled out up the third base line 2-3 back in the first inning and then struck out the other 2 trips. Sullentrop got 3 ground balls in the 8th. And here we are, Tunnel facing York in the bottom of the ninth inning. You can't give this team an inch. Stokes leading off, and Tunnel gets a fly ball foul off to the right. It is 0-1. Lancaster trying to win its 10th in the War of the Roses. And I know the fans wishing this were an 18-game series back in Lancaster. They need 17 this year to bring the cup back home, and there's a long way to go. Most of the games are here. Ground ball toward the middle. Felice gobbles it up, throws, and that's 1 out. Stokes is retired. And it brings on Reyes, who spoiled the no-hit bid with a double inside the first base bag back in the 7th inning. Lancaster with the 2 runs in the first inning still holding up. They got an insurance run in the 6th. The Barnstormers, since the first time through the batting order, merely have 4 singles. The pitching has been terrific for the Barnstormers here tonight. Elmer Reyes, the batter, at 1 out of 3. Tunnel is ready to go to Reyes. A first pitch slider is missing. Ball 1, no strikes. Brooks Hall worked 2. He put Encarnacion on in the first and Franco aboard in the 7th. Tunnel's pitch, grounded foul over toward the third base dugout. Anuel Polanco will chase that one down. The man who has been at Mark Mason's side since 2013. Andy Etchebarren retired following the Barnstormers' sweep of the Revs in the first round of the 2012 playoffs. Here's a 1-1. Reyes loops a foul into the first base seats. That one a little gentle. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Probably not so if you're sitting there. One, 2, the count on Reyes. Encarnacion waits on deck. West Tunnel needs 2 outs here in the bottom of the 9th inning to seal it. Tunnel is ready to go. The pitch, a fastball. That is chopped. Third base side. Here comes Lair. He'll get off the throw and make the play. 2 outs. Trace Lair is good at charging balls from third base as we've had. J.C. Encarnacion will be the final hope for the York Revolution here today, now into tonight. I always hate it when the day part changes in the middle of the game. 4:30, an unusual starting time, and under my rules, technically a day game. 2 outs, nobody on. Encarnacion walked in the first. He has grounded out twice since. Here is Tunnel's first pitch. It is high and ball 1. 1-0 on Encarnacion. Rodriguez on deck. And then you would get to Franco. You absolutely want to have the third out before he would step in. Ball 1, no strikes. Encarnacion with the bat held high, awaits the pitch. The slider is across. Tunnel is even with him at 1-1. West Tunnel, another guy who can throw hard, but the Barnstormers have not been attacking York with fastballs today. Don't have the numbers, but I would have to think a far larger percentage of breaking balls than we're accustomed to. Another one, and it is strike 2. Tunnel has the Revs down to a final strike. 7 for Hall, 1 for Sullentrop. Tunnel tries to get the last out here. 1 ball, 2 strikes to J.C. Encarnacion. With the Barnstormers up 3-0, here is the pitch, and it is belted to left center field. Way back it goes, and there goes the shutout. A home run off the back tier of signs for Encarnacion. First home run off of West Tunnel, and whatever pitch that was didn't work. So it's now 3-1. Nelly Rodriguez will step in at 0 for 3. As far as the game is concerned, it means nothing more than a walk would have, but it extends the Revs' extra base hit streak. Well, Reyes did that 36 games in a row. This team has an extra base hit. Nelly Rodriguez will come to the plate with Carlos Franco on deck. That is the first home run allowed by Tunnel in 19 2/3 innings. And York and its fans alive here in the bottom of the 9th. That was another breaking ball, but he must have hung it to Rodriguez, a swing and a miss. It is 0-1. Just the second hit for the Revs. Rodriguez batting, Franco looms on deck. 2 outs, nobody on, bottom of the 9th. The Barnstormers were 1 strike from a shutout. Now to Rodriguez, that is strike 2. West Tunnel retired Reyes on a fastball. He throws 97. 0-2 on Rodriguez. The pitch, he got him, a swing and a miss. Oh, it happens 1 batter too late. as Encarnacion busts up the shutout. But the Barnstormers win here in York, the opener of this 3-game series, 5 games overall, split between the two ballparks. It's a run, 1 hit, no errors, nobody left on. In the bottom half of the 9th inning, the Barnstormers have a great day on the mound, a strong day in the field, and a so-so day at the plate. Not the type of game you would expect when the Barnstormers get together with the York Revolution, 2 of the higher scoring teams in the Atlantic League. But today, it's the story of the Barnstormers pitching staff, and Lancaster wins 3-1. We'll be back with a recap momentarily.
For nearly 50 years, Orthopedic Associates of Lancaster has provided a full spectrum of care for athletes of all ages and skill levels. Orthopedic Associates of Lancaster offers on-site urgent care, X-ray, MRI, immobilization, and is committed to helping you manage and prevent injuries, getting you back in the game as soon as possible. Orthopedic Associates of Lancaster is located at 1700 Cornwall Road in Lebanon, or you can visit them on the web at fixbones.com.
Get out of the heat and dive under the sea this summer with Disney's Little Mermaid at Dutch Apple Dinner Theater. Join Ariel on her adventure from the sea through the human world. Based off the 1989 animated film, Disney's Little Mermaid will keep kids young and old entertained. Performances are Tuesday through Sunday with matinee and evening show options available. Each performance also includes a buffet-style meal prior to the show. Call Dutch Apple Dinner Theater at 717-898-1900 or visit us at dutchapple.com to reserve your tickets today.
Well, the Barnstormers win the opener of this 3-game series. Still a first-half contest, but with the victory here, the Barnstormers go to 29-36 in the first half. If they win first game of the doubleheader tomorrow night, they will get to 30-36, and still a chance for them to finish in 3rd place in the North Division in the first half for whatever that's worth. Lancaster now 29-36. York is 29-35 in the first half of the season. And the Barnstormers tie their season high by winning their 4th in a row. 3 runs, 9 hits, no errors, 8 left for the Barnstormers here today. 1 run on just 2 hits for the York Revolution. York also played error-free baseball and left 3 runners on base in the game. The win goes to Brooks Hall. He is 1-1. The loss to Austin Nicely, who falls to 2-6. Credit West Tunnel with his 3rd save of the season. 2 hours, 33 minutes. The time of the game here, and 5,769. The 4th of July crowd here at Peoples Bank Park. Barnstormers winning it by the score of 3-1. Lancaster came out on fire in the first inning. Dunston grounded out. Melvin Mercedes looped a single into center. Kelly Dugan had a tremendously high fly ball to right center field, caught by Connor Lean just ahead of the wall out in right center. But Andretti Cordero continued the inning with a line drive single into left. Ladarius Clark got a run home as he doubled past the diving attempt of J.C. Encarnacion. And then Cordero would score on an Austin Nicely wild pitch during a walk to Colton Shaver, and the Barnstormers led by the score of 2-0. Shaver singled home Cordero in the 6th inning with an insurance run, and that was it for the Barnstormers in the game, but that was enough for Brooks Hall here today. The Barnstormers right-handed starter retired 18 of 19 over the first 6 innings, walking 1, striking out 7. He hadn't allowed a base hit. Only 2 balls got to the outfield against him. But then Elmer Reyes, starting off the 7th inning, spoiled the no-hit effort with a double inside the first base bag. He would be stranded on the bases, though, as Hall got a ground out from Encarnacion. He struck out Rodriguez looking, and around a walk to Carlos Franco that extended his on-base streak to 46 games. He struck out Connor Lean as well, and that got Hall out of the 7th inning. That would be it for him in the game. 1 hit, 2 walks, 9 strikeouts in 7 shutout innings. Tyler Sullentrop pitched a perfect 8th on just 8 pitches. He got a couple of ground balls. West Tunnel continued that into the 9th inning, retiring the first 2 batters on ground outs. then went to 1 ball and 2 strikes on J.C. Encarnacion, and it looked like he hung a breaking ball. Encarnacion hit it off the back ad wall out in left center field for the solo home run. All that managed to do was spoil the shutout for the Barnstormers staff today as Nelly Rodriguez went down swinging against Tunnel for the final out. 3-1, the Barnstormers victorious, and they go to 29-36 here in the first half. But the signs are pointing upwards for this club. And you can look at it, yeah, they swept Staten Island over the weekend. Staten Island has the worst record in the league, although they have certainly given the Barnstormers a fight every day. But now when you come in here against a hot York team, a team that's swinging the bats like crazy, and you shut them down on only 2 hits, yeah, you give up the home run to Encarnacion to spoil a shutout. But things are looking right for the Barnstormers right now. And you hope it carries into the start of the second half tomorrow night. That's the moment we've been waiting for. The pitching staff has come back together. You've got Brooks Hall pitching extremely well. You've got Niall Ball pitching extremely well. Augie Silk, his last start was solid. Oscar Dela Cruz looked awfully good on Saturday night after readjusting following the rain delay. So there are a lot of positive signs going into the second half for this ball club, but we're really not going to know until the bell rings for the second half tomorrow night how this Barnstormers team is going to come out. But they have won 4 in a row. The pitching largely has been at the forefront of that, but the ball club is starting to get the timely hits as well. 3-1 our score today. We'll take a look at the rest of the Atlantic League on this 4th of July. And, of course, everything's long been decided in the first half. Wild Health defeated Lexington by the score of 2-1 in the first game of a doubleheader at Wild Health Field. And it is worth noting that Hawkins may have gone 2 for 3, but he did not have a home run. So the 3-way tie holds at the top of the leaderboard. Hawkins, Kelly Dugan, and Carlos Franco all with 23. And nobody else is all that close. Xander Wheel of High Point is 4th with 17. The second game at Lexington, and the Legends are the home team for that one, not yet started. At the end of 4, Long Island is up 3-0, 3-0, I should say, over Staten Island. It is High Point 1, Gastonia nothing in the top of the 4th. Southern Maryland with Darrell Thompson on the hill leading Charleston. Are they in the Atlantic League? I can't remember. We have not seen them yet. 1-0. The score, Southern Maryland leading in the top half of the 3rd inning. Major League scoreboard today are an earlier final. The Miami Marlins beat the Washington Nationals 3-2 in 10 innings. Baltimore tripped up Texas 7-6, also in 10. The final score, Detroit in the first game of a doubleheader defeated Cleveland 4-1. 2.5 innings have been logged in game 2. There is no score. Boston shut out Tampa Bay 4-0. Kansas City and Houston tied at 6 in the top of the 9th. The steaming hot Astros have come a long way back in that game. 10th inning, Chicago and Milwaukee tied at 2 at Miller Park. Arizona leads San Francisco 4-2 in the 3rd. Mets up 3-0 over Cincinnati. In the bottom of the 2nd inning, Seattle has a 2-0 edge on San Diego into the 3rd. St. Louis is just about to step in the top of the 1st in Atlanta. Minnesota at the White Sox, Toronto at Oakland, and Colorado at the Dodgers coming up later on. The Barnstormers win the opener of this series against the York Revolution. The Barnstormers now up 10-6 in the War of the Roses. They need to win 7 of the last 16 now to bring the Community Cup back across to the river. A tie will keep the cup here in York. 3-1 our win today. Tomorrow, doubleheader baseball at 5 o'clock from Peoples Bank Park. The Barnstormers will have Augie Silk on the mound in game 1, and that will be, I am told, against the bullpen, possibly Eduardo Rivera. will make the start in game 1. The bullpen going in game 2 against Cameron Gann. And then the scene shifts back to Clipper Magazine Stadium for the ball games Wednesday and Thursday. That is the start of a 14-game homestand for the Barnstormers. 2 against York, 3 over the weekend against the Genomes. High Point will be in for 3. And then the Charleston Dirty Birds, they are in the Atlantic League. They're on the schedule for 6 in a row, starting a week from Friday, all at Clipper Magazine Stadium. And the Dirty Birds will get to experience an off day in Lancaster in the middle of that series, and we know they'll enjoy the environs of Lancaster County. 3-1, the Barnstormers win here tonight. That's all for us. Happy 4th of July once again, everybody, and stay safe for the remainder of your holiday. Enjoy the short work week if you have that in the offing, and come Wednesday night, we certainly plan on hosting you at Clipper Magazine Stadium. So until then, for video producer Ryan Cortazzo and all the cast and crew at Clipper Magazine Stadium, as well as our presenting sponsor, Gockenauer Appliances of East Petersburg, I'm Dave Collins. Have a great evening, everyone. And come Wednesday, we'll see you at the ballpark.